Hey, ATG radio, yeah. The greatest boxing podcast. Woo! Featuring the crew. You know how we do, yeah. Mike Dawson, Big Time Timmy, Rufus D, Hollywood, Coach Andre, and the Godfather Frank. Yeah, that's the crew. To come and get in the loop. So tune in and see just how we do. It's every Monday and every Wednesday. ATG radio, yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the newest edition of ATG Radio. It was Big Time Tim Cudges, a.k.a. Minnesota Stevens. I'm joined by Michael Dawson, Rufus Deffenbaugh. What's going on, guys?
Enjoying another week of boxing, another week of ATG Radio. Second time, and I think it's going to be better than the first. First was actually good, but I'm looking forward for number two. Rufus.
Absolutely. A lot to talk about today.
Yeah, I mean, before the show, we were going over a lot of news. I think the one I'm most excited about talking about is, and Doss, you touched on it briefly before the show, but Manny Pacquiao being denied because of his age to qualify into the Olympics. So, former pound-for-pound number one star, multi-weight, multi-time boxing champion, Manny Pacquiao, has been retired for a few years now. And he was trying to make a comeback of sorts. I guess he had some exhibitions or something, but he's trying to make a comeback of sorts on the amateur level and jumping into the Olympics, trying to chase down one prize that's eluded him in his career, and that's gold medal. Doss, what are your thoughts?
He would never get it. He was briefly an amateur in the Philippines. Being an amateur in the Philippines back in the maybe early 90s, even late 80s, it's a totally different thing from being in the Olympics. It's like night and day. Pros and Olympics are totally different. I don't think he'd make it out of he might make it out of the first round. Definitely wouldn't make it out of the second round. I'd be shocked if he got a bronze, to be honest with you. It's too hectic. He knows the rules. It's 40 years old. They've known this for a while, and they've still been talking about it, but they had to officially wait for them to say, no, you can't break the rules. You're 45. The rules are 40. He knew this.
They should have let him do it. That would have put asses in seats. Rufus, what's your thoughts?
Well, for me, I've always been of the opinion that the amateurs should just remain the amateurs. But at the same time, ever since they allowed the NBA to compete in the Olympics, I've always said, why not have, boxing champions or legends and other people compete? And considering they're paying the amateurs now, these semi-pro fights and everything, or they're having pro fights and then going back into the amateurs like the last Olympics, I don't see why they should have turned him down strictly because of his age. Because if I'm not mistaken, Roland Gardner, who's up in his 40s, is trying to compete in the 2024 Paris Olympics. So if he qualifies, I at least say let them at least try to qualify. And if they pass the test, you have no choice but to let them in.
There was a flyweight, two-time, maybe even two-time world champion, Amrat Rakamano. I can't remember his last name. Very well known in his circle, in his country. But he went to the Olympics, I think the last Olympics or the Olympics before, and he got humiliated. He was a two-time world champion. They let him do it. They let him try, and he failed. I'm going to tell you.
There's another guy, too. It was what's his name? He's fought some top-name guys, and now it's going to bother me.
And he got stopped or he got knocked out in the first? He got beat in the first round, didn't he? Well, the thing with Manny, though, this guy Amrat was a target, but Manny is even worth more than a gold medal. These guys, you got these young bucks that don't play around. The amateurs is a big deal. This is their life, and you're gonna have a guy that's gonna be sentimental towards Manny and maybe not perform the best of his abilities, or then you're gonna have the guy that has Manny as a target and will go out of his way. And you said putting ass in seats, it might even put Manny on his ass. he would not keep up with these young kids. And like I said, he might win one. He might go into the finals because sentimental value. Somebody don't want to beat him because he's a legend, which he is. But you're gonna have that one guy that wants to be a legend killer, and if he meets that guy, I'm telling you, it could be ugly. And what do you have to gain? You've done so much. I understand these guys want a gold medal. Roy Jones could have got a gold medal. Evander Holyfield, I think, kind of got robbed of a gold medal. A lot of these top guys, go their whole career without a gold medal. They never had an opportunity to go back. But Manny never had a medal, never even tried. It's an extra trinket for him. I mean, I kind of wish they let him try it, but I'm telling you, I really think he'd be humiliated because you got too many guys out there that are young bucks and hungry, man. Amateurs are totally beast.
Starting to bother me. There's that French middleweight. He won at least one world title. Who did he beat? He beat the Japanese fighter. That was.
You sure you're not talking about Amrat?
I thought you said flyweight.
Yeah, he's lower, man. He's not.
Yeah, no. Fuck, it's gonna bother me. It's like in the gym, or I don't know. I'll find it.
Hassan N'Dram.
That's it.
Yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah.
Well, here's the thing: like, boxing is a fringe sport in the Olympics, right? Every time it comes up, is boxing going to be there? Is it not? Is it going to be there? Is it not?
I'm hearing that's how it ain't. You got the UFC that's really trying, to do something with MMA. Well, you got MMA. I wouldn't say the UFC specifically, but MMA is trying their best to get in. You got other sports. I mean, hell, before you know it, slap will be in the game. Yeah. And somebody just.
That's what Jake Paul should do. Jake Paul should run it in the Olympics.
That's what he's doing. You didn't hear that?
He's not. He's got to fight.
Yes, no, he's part of the Olympic team this year.
Yeah, but he's not fighting in the Olympics. He's helping train.
Of course not. But he's like their mascot now. And to be honest with you, they're only doing it for for popularity. Which, I mean, it's like Taylor Swift being at the damn Super Bowl. Same shit. I got a lot of friends that are in the Olympic Committee, USA Boxing. Of course, y'all know that. I'm connected with USA Boxing, but I even told my buddy, man, that's a bad move. It's good for looks and clicks and all that, but it kind of dumbs them down, in my opinion. I'd rather have Manny Pacquiao as my mascot than Jake Paul, but that's just me.
My man Doss name dropping the US what was it again? USA Boxing.
USA Boxing. Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, if we want to keep boxing in the Olympics, which has been a springboard for many fighters in the past, right into big contracts, world title shots. We need to put asses in seats. We need to. Actually, the most important is we need to put eyes on TV.
Dude, we haven't had a gold medalist. I don't know how long it's been. What, 25 years maybe?
What was Ward? Ward a gold medalist?
Oh, yeah. I think he was the last one. So it's
Jesus, you're about to make me feel really old. I was like, 96? Ward won a gold medal 25 years ago?
Was it 96? I think it was. Or was it 2000? It was 2000.
Yeah, man. No, there's no fucking way it was 96.
I think it was 2000.
I was 12 years old. No way.
I'm telling you, dude, there's one gold medalist in the last probably 30 years. And it's unreal. Sugar Ray Leonard, all these a bunch of other. I mean, you got Mark Breland. They had him on a pedestal. When you win a gold medal, used to be that was a world title pretty much. You're fast track. Some people fail. Some people, they get it. But these guys, one or two fights, they could fight for a world title. It depends on the manager. There's been guys, Pistol Pete Rademacher, won a gold medal, went straight to Floyd Patterson, got knocked out because it was a bad style matchup and he wasn't quite ready. But like Andre Ward was kind of fast tracked in a way, not too bad, but these guys get 15, 20 fights.
Lomachenko was pretty quick. What was it? Second fight, third fight?
Oh, yeah, but he's two-time gold medalist. I mean, and he wasn't a spring chicken, and that's why they pushed him.
He had a short shelf life.
Well, I'm gonna be honest with you. A lot of people are picking, him to beat George Kambosos. I don't know, man.
I mean, it's a possibility. I've never been real high on Cambosis. I know he had that big upset, but
It's in Australia, and Kambosos, and Kambosos he's a kind of a pressure guy. Throws a lot of punches. A lot of people think he'd be tailor made for a guy like Lomachenko, but Lomachenko, we don't know. That Devin Haney loss, man, it seems like it took a lot out of him. It really did. He was devastated. He's 35 years old, but it's not just 35. He's 35 plus 300, almost 400 amateur fights, man. Those amateur fights make you old a lot quicker.
Well, yeah, and I think that's what a lot of American fighters are realizing, and that's why we're not getting those big names in the Olympics anymore, those younger prospects. I mean, you got people that are training for it, right? But there's a lot of top guys that realize they can just start getting paid and get in the ring and start building their career.
Yeah, you got social media guys that are bigger than a lot of world champions right now. Not even Jake Paul. KSI is the same way. You start having a social media channel. They know you're not even a gold medalist. You like Ryan Garcia. Ryan Garcia is more known for being on social media than he is, being a world champion.
What do you guys think about that KSI Tommy Fury fight?
KSI did pretty good for himself. I'm not gonna lie. Tommy Fury,
he made it interesting, but it was a lot of bullshit, like in and out, punching, running.
It kind of reminded me of Tyson Fury versus Ngannou. It was very similar. The guy that's not supposed to, have that much does more than anticipated. The other guy boxes and runs around something that the other guy don't know about. He does, he just turns into a boxing match, and that's what Tyson Fury did, and that's what his brother did.
Speaking of Joshua, or speaking of Nagano, Joshua's article on Boxing Scene that this is the biggest fight of, or the toughest fight of Anthony Joshua's career. I'm like, all right, cuz don't piss on my head.
I hope he actually
training.
fucking trains that way. Sorry about that. If he actually trains that way, it's going to be a quick night, and I want him to think that. Not that he's really thinking that, not that he should have to think that way, but I really like him to think that way. This is the biggest moment, and really, to be honest with you, it is. If he gets knocked out by Ngannou, his career is fucking over. It's done. And then Ngannou is on a pedestal.
Even if he goes the distance or it's a questionable fight, I'm not going to say his career is done. Yeah, can you hear me?
I don't know my sound, man.
We can hear you.
Okay.
Can you hear us?
I can hear you, Timmy.
Cool.
I can't hear you, bro.
DOS might have to log out and come back in.
I can't hear you. There you go. I heard something.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me? This is. There it goes. We should be back on in a second, but we're going to talk about what are your thoughts on Joshua Nagano, Rufus?
I think it goes one of three ways. Either Joshua trains for the fight ultra seriously and blows Nagano out of the water, which would only show the whole world, especially the MMA community, that Tyson Fury did not take Nagano seriously at all, so Nagano's abilities are an illusion. Or it's going to go where it might very well be that Nagano is better than people think, and that it's not exactly a fluke, and he actually goes several rounds or the distance with Joshua, which I think hurts Joshua and, in a way, the sport of boxing. Or, quite frankly, it could be that Joshua has such a big head about it, saying, well, this is my stepping stone to the undisputed title. Everybody knows that Fury didn't take him seriously, so this is going to be easy. And then he gets caught with some stupid fucking shot, and it's the upset of the year. That's the three alternatives, but 2 out of the 3, most likely Joshua wins, so. Now, one can argue, though, is this the biggest fight of his career? Probably monetarily, perhaps. But as far as it actually worth anything, no, not at all.
This is a segue to the most important fight of his career. If he beats Ngannou, and impressively, which most people think he probably will, that sets up a possible Tyson Fury fight. I don't see Tyson Fury retiring after he beats Usyk, if he does beat Usyk. Or, no one wants to see Usyk Joshua 3. That's probably not going to happen. That's already been proven. But if Tyson Fury beats, Usyk, that's the most important fight of both guys' career, in my opinion.
In all honesty, the heavyweight division needs Tyson Fury to beat Usyk.
You're correct.
It needs it to stay relevant.
Yeah, and they need him not to get the Lennox Lewis, mindset after he beat Mike Tyson, thinking he already conquered the mountain. And I don't think that. I think that, Tyson Fury still considers Anthony Joshua the mountain. It's his home country, the Battle of Britain. There's so much would be on the line. And if he showcased himself against, Ngannou a lot better than Tyson did, you have that aspect as well. I don't see Tyson retiring. I see both guys being the most important fight of their lives against themselves. Joshua and Tyson Fury.
After what Rufus was saying, it's kind of right. I don't know if Joshua wants to get into a dogfight early, because that's the Ngannou's best chance to land a punch early and often.
Jab, jab, body shots. Jab, jab, body shots. Confuse him, make him miss, get him tired. That chin was tested against Tyson. I mean, hell, against an elbow. I mean, the dude has a damn chin, but his body hit the body, wear him down.
Regardless of the outcome of this fight, I would like to see, mostly if Ngannou loses, I would still kind of like to see him reset and kind of work his way up the ladder. I mean, he's going in and fighting top fucking 5 fighters right off the rip, transferring over from MMA to boxing. I would like to see him start off in like that, I wouldn't say entry-level fights, but maybe start off around what Jake Paul's doing right now, and then kind of work his way up the ladder a little bit. Fight the big babies.
I think he's too good for trial horse level, to be honest, since there's 7 levels in boxing. So really where he's at, like the top 10, 15, or 20 spots, those are the guys he should be fighting. And he don't got enough time on his side to try to start over from journeyman or anything.
He shouldn't jump to Anthony Joshua. I really wanted to see him fight Daniel Dubois. That's the fight that I wanted.
Even Joe Joyce at this point. Joe Joyce needs a win. He needs a big fight to stay relevant. Or we can run back Joyce and Dubois.
I don't really think Dubois wants that, because he's got too much to lose. He's riding some hype right now.
I'll be honest. I think Joe Joyce's career is already over, and he don't know it.
He shouldn't have took the rematch. He shouldn't. Rarely ever do we see the outcome be good for the fighter that invokes the rematch clause. Just reset. That's all you got to do. Don't fight the guy that just ran through you. I get it. I get the pride issue, right? Like, he took his first loss. He wants to avenge it. But chill.
We'll look at Errol Spence, man. Errol Spence and Crawford. Rematch clause. Who the hell wants to see that? That's going to be an assassination. And now you got Errol Spence.
Paul, Tommy Fury.
With an eye patch on. No, I don't think Jay's going to take that rematch. I don't see that. I think that's done. Now he's rebuilding his career the way he should have in the beginning. Work his way up. But he's actually, he's kind of picking the bottom of the barrel. But I would have picked a little bit better guy. But He's showcasing himself, and he's doing it against the real boxers, but they ain't the greatest records. They got a
He's
lot of
going up
hype about
against
it.
those Arkansas records. Like, I get it. That's what he should have been doing from the beginning.
Exactly.
Getting those guys with those Oklahoma, those
Missouri,
West Virginia.
could have threw hands with my boy Delray.
Delray might. I don't know. He's getting a
He's
little
too
older.
big for Delray. Jake Paul's like
Jake Paul is a
cruiserweight. Delray, I
massive
think the
fucking-
biggest he ever was 154.
I'm shocked that Jake Paul hasn't entered the WWE with Logan and being tag team champions. To be honest with you, that's where I kind of thought it would go
Yeah,
after
man.
Fury.
I think he loves this shit.
I really do, and a lot of people talk shit about Jake Paul. I'm not gonna be one of them guys. Do you, bro? I mean, you love boxing. It's obvious, and you're helping the sport. I'm not big on the amateur thing, USA Boxing. I just feel like, but if that's what they feel like they need, but the thing is, it's not even that. It's he's helping boxers out. He's donating his purses, to the fighters and
He's
the
fighting on
helping,
the undercard for his fighter. His fighter, Amanda Serrano, is the
And I'm
main
hearing
event.
that he pays his fighters more and better than any other promoter on the fucking planet. I don't care how bad somebody hates you and don't feel like you deserve whatever. This dude is actually helping out, and he's making boxing bigger, and he's making boxing more, lucrative for these guys. And I care about the boxers. I do. I care about retired fighters. I donate to retired fighters a lot. I try to help, like Iceman John Scully, we were just talking about. He does a big thing, great thing with these fighters, and I help him out with that sometimes. Because I care about the boxers. They gave their blood, sweat, and tears for me to have enjoyment and watch them fight. It's I want to help these guys out when they can't do it anymore. And Jake does the same thing, and for that, mad love, man, respect, definitely. You know, I think he should do his career differently. I don't like the way that, he got hyped in the beginning, but I kind of felt he kind of grew on me, to be honest with you. But the reason he grew on me is because the way that he shows love to these boxers. And you got to respect the guy for that, 100%.
I think his legacy when his career's over will be that he showed that you could make a shit ton of money in this business without having to go the traditional promoting route. So
you can make a
that
shit
really
ton of money
opened up
when
a lot of doors for people.
you can make a shit ton of money when you're a superstar on YouTube. I mean, it's not like he just waltzed into boxing. He had money. He created something different with boxing, but he had a lot of money to do that. So, I mean, I can't just say any guy can go off the street and start boxing and be like Jake Paul. Jake Paul earned his keep in another way. Now he's going to boxing, but it's riding off the superstardom they had on YouTube.
What's
It's a
crazy,
little different.
right? Hakeem Rockman Jr. got re-famous again just by being named an opponent for a short period of time. So I'm,
And then he goes and gets knocked out by what's his name?
Well, I get a message. I get a notification on my phone. It's from Fight TV, Thriller TV. So there's a card. It's another influencer card. It's got like the fake Jake Paul fighting the fake Logan Paul, a couple other influencers, but it's got Hakeem Rockman Jr.
Unknown opponent
versus mystery opponent. Look who we have here.
Big pimps.
What's going on?
What y'all talking about?
Jake Paul, or actually right now, Hakeem Rockman Jr. versus the mystery opponent on Fight TV.
Oh, those guys are kind of irrelevant.
Yeah, I mean, what we were talking about before,
You are correct.
I definitely want your input on it. It was on Boxing Scene today, right? I think maybe yesterday, but Manny Pacquiao was trying to get into the Olympics, right? We talked about this a little bit earlier, but definitely want your opinion on this. The IOC denied him because of age. He was 45 years old. The maximum age is 40, so he was just outright denied. We all shared our input on it, but Eddie, I'd love to hear yours.
Well, I think it's kind of how do you say, I don't know. I think it kind of slaps amateur boxing in the face if we kind of start letting that thing open like that. It opens up a can of worms for a bunch of other stuff.
But what's funny is, like we were talking about it earlier, we've seen pro fighters, top-ranked former champions, go into the Olympics and just get torched by these amateur fighters. What were their names, Doss, we were talking about earlier?
Oh, you talk about the guys, the pros that already went?
Yeah, like
And
former
lost?
champions.
Yeah, Amrat, what's his name? I can't remember his last name. Amrat, I think he's from Thailand. And he was a 2-time champion, like flyweight. I think he went and made it to the second round, but he didn't get the gold medal. And there's another one, Hassam
I
Nanjab.
think that medaled, I think, went back in to try as a pro. I think Kangara, the Ecuadorian dude.
Carlos Congor, yeah.
Yeah, he went back.
Yeah,
and
he
he
might
didn't.
have
He got eliminated in the first round, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
I
pretty
think there's
sure
been 3 or
everybody
4.
that's at their
I just think it's a disadvantage because the definition of pro is once you get paid, you lose your amateur status. So,
Exactly.
and those amateurs aren't allowed to get sponsored by NIL or anything. You know, they got to raise their own money and everything. So I think it's unfair that a pro boxer that's got millions of dollars access to whatever kind of training whatever, it's at a disadvantage. It shouldn't be open like that. It's supposed to be a platform to showcase yourself to become a pro, not a place where pros already are, you know, and try to go win a medal. Why would Manny Pacquiao try to win a medal at this point? It's political. You know what I mean? So that's another reason why it shouldn't be involved in the amateurs. There's already enough politics in boxing as it is, you know. To add more, I'm just saying, it's just opening up a can of worms is how I feel.
That's a
I
good
agree,
perspective. I wasn't even thinking about it like that. I was thinking more about, hey, save Olympic boxing, get viewership, get stuff like that. But if you're an amateur fighter, what makes you want to stay and train for 4 years to get into the Olympics if you have pro fighters just jumping in there and winning the medals? I completely agree with that point. I was thinking when I was originally talking about it, I was thinking more the mindset like, hey, let's get some fucking viewership for these Olympics so they don't kick it out the next go around. But what you're saying makes sense.
Yeah, I think the introduction of the no helmets is awesome, but I also think that was done I think that the pros, because if you think about it, a lot of these sanctioning bodies are involved with the amateurs. Like the WBC gives them belts already.
Oh man.
And they're trying to be a feeding ground to get these guys so when they come out, you know. But I'm going to give you an example. So you have that, and then what you figured, the reason why they went to the push for the no helmets, why you think that was? So the promoters can't fucking make mistakes with guys with no chins, you know? So that was for the pros. That's what that was for, because think about all the $1 million bust, all these guys they paid money for, and the guys didn't turn out to be who they were.
Yeah, they want to see what kind of chin he has, you know. And I mean,
so it always comes down to money. We all know that.
Yeah, well, if you ever go to the national tournaments and even, you know, the Olympic trials, they have managers, they have spies from promotional companies everywhere, dude. They have, I mean, it's insane. It's like vultures picking these kids, and you know, and their families. A lot of them, their dads are training them and stuff like that. And you got all this sleaziness. It's bad in the Olympic trials and all the national tournaments. I mean, they need to ban that, dude. Just let these guys fight.
When last Olympics?
Well, the problem is you have a conflict with amateur boxing now because you got AIBA in there, you have USA. They're trying to split, you know, so it's getting ugly. I mean, it's almost getting to like it's professional boxing where there's no, how do you say, no oversight is what it's going to end up being. People are just going to break off.
Hands. There's so much corruption.
Didn't Keyshawn Davis have a couple pro fights before he fought in the Olympics?
He did. He went back and won that
silver. A couple of them
correct.
had a few pro.
The heavyweight Lee DiBella did. That's the guy that beat Richard Torres. He had 7 professional fights when he beat Torres.
But I also remember who was that dude, man? Back in the day, like 2000. I can't remember his name. He signed and got $1 million signing bonus, and I think it might have been
Ricardo Williams. Ricardo Williams.
No, it was another guy.
Ricardo.
But
Ricardo Williams got the largest signing bonus. He's the only guy got $1 million.
Ricky Williams was a very talented guy, but I remember I was at a Juan Diaz fight or somewhere. It might have been Diaz. This was Juan Manuel Marquez in Houston. I'm walking by, and all of a sudden I see I see a limo pull up. I see Ricky come out, and he came out with a guy. I'm not going to go into detail. His last name was not King, but Prince. That's all I'm going to say. I don't want to
That
say
was
too
his
much.
manager.
I don't want to get shot. No, but they come out. They come out of the limo looking fucked up, dude. He was so fucked up he couldn't even speak, and I knew Ricky, and he couldn't even talk to me. And I'm like, dude, and he was still fighting at that time, and within a couple months, it just drifted off. It was disappointing. He had so
There
much
was
talent.
another guy that Lou gave money to. I'm trying to think who it was.
Michael something. Michael something.
I don't know
Did
if he was from the Olympics, but remember that one prospect that was supposed to be
He was a
huge?
cruiserweight.
Nope, and Dawson's
Light
right. Lou
heavyweight.
DiBella struck out twice. He gave another guy $1 million. I forget who it was.
Michael-
Actually, 3 times. You know
Michael
why?
something.
You know why? Because he just lost that kid, Charles Conwell. And you can ask
Yeah.
Frank. I was going to bring that kid to Top Rank, and he ended up deciding he wanted to go to prom instead of go meet with Bob Arum. He fucking signs with Lou DiBella, and fucking Lou just lost him to Golden Boy. You know they're going to end up feeding him to fucking the Sergio kid or whatever.
Oh yeah. I think
What's that kid they have? The 47-pounder that didn't win the title.
Oh, I'm thinking about somebody else. Sergio.
I think that's his name. The guy Golden Boy has. He was in the mix with Crawford and Spence, and then he got sick.
Virgil Ortiz.
Yes.
Ortiz.
So
yeah.
I think that they signed Conwell to put him in with Ortiz. Conwell's a kid that killed Patrick Day.
Yeah, Patrick Day was a tough motherfucker.
I'm saying Conwell hasn't lost. He's a tough fucking kid. He was on the Olympic team, but he was on that same team. I think 2 Olympics ago? He was on the one before Davis.
That was the one with like Nico Hernandez, right?
That's why they call Lou DiBella the meat man. You signed with him, man. I'm just telling you. He's not going to like it, but you know who told me that? You know who called Lou DiBella the meat man to me? Willie Nelson, his fucking fighter.
Yeah.
That's fucked up when you know for slanging meat in the sport, but yeah, it is what it is. So
it is what it is.
Who do you think wins that fight?
Which fight?
Ortiz.
Conwell versus that Sergio kid.
Or Sergio or
Virgil Ortiz.
Virgil Ortiz, man. To be honest with you, I haven't seen enough of Ortiz at 154. I mean, we've seen fucking 20 seconds. We've seen 20 seconds. We've seen a ref say he stopped the fight, early because the other guy had a brain issue. And then he texted shit, or he posted on Facebook, never heard shit back. Still haven't heard anything about it. It's been so mum, and that tells me that it was true. And we've seen about 30 seconds of him in action at 154 when we should have seen at least 4 or 5 rounds. So I'm going to be honest with you. I would not be shocked in the least if Cornwell beats him. That might be a fight they don't want to make. He's not proving
They
it.
signed him, so they're going to want to make that. And then let me ask you another question. Knowing that they signed both of those top-ranked guys, they signed Barboza and Ramirez, and they're talking about putting them in together. Who do you got in that fight?
I like Barboza.
I like Barboza too.
Barboza
Really?
Talent, yeah. It's not even all the way pushed yet. I mean, he's not even. He hasn't lived up to his potential yet. Duke can fight.
Here's another fight they're talking about making that's getting real close to being made. Conor Ben versus Danny Garcia.
Fuck, I like that fight. That's an ATG dream fight right there.
Conor Ben should have picked Thurman before Zoo did.
He's not available.
Yeah, but I said before Zoo did. He should have been all.
Yeah, but he thought he was gonna get. He thought he was gonna get one of PBC's guys.
I don't like Conor Ben at 154. I don't like Conor Ben at 154. Everybody says, "Oh, he took the eggs out of his diet and all that bullshit." Garcia he's at that time right now that he can be beaten, but I don't think it's going to be against Conor Ben. Garcia.
I love Danny Garcia, Philly fighter. You know what I mean? I always support my Philly fighters.
Yeah, let me tell you something about Danny Garcia. That fucking guy has the best chin I've ever seen on anybody, probably at 147. At 140, remember when he fought Kendall? He took pure fucking cement blocks from Kendall Holt. Kendall lit him up all night. He ate him and just laughed at him. Nobody did that against Kendall Holt. Kendall Holt could bang, and Danny Garcia
He-
ate his punches like nothing. What's that?
We lost Eddie. He was
He needs to
freezing
come
up a
back.
little bit there.
That was good shit, man. But
But
Rufus, what do you think about that? Conor Ben versus Garcia.
I'll be honest, and you all should know this as well as I do, that, heavyweight, the big guys is where my attention's at. It's never really been the smaller guys unless it's the absolute biggest names. I've never seen Conor Ben, and all that is anything special to me anyway. But you all have at it.
He was looking special for a while until they started, he started getting tested. I mean, and everybody's pointing to that. Everybody's like, man, his power is gone. He don't move like he used to move. He's eating more shots. I don't really know what to believe, but I'm gonna tell you, if you are getting, you're suspected of doing steroids or whatever,
This is my thing about steroids.
Go ahead.
I don't think though that steroids can increase your hand-eye coordination. I don't think it can increase your depth perception. I don't think it can increase your work ethic. You know what I mean? So it's proven that you could take a regular person and put them on steroids, and they're not going to become a world-class athlete. You get what I mean? It's impossible. It's proven.
But if you're getting
the guy
judged
got
already,
some skills. He's got pedigree. Let's not
your
forget.
Your last three fights, or is it 2 or 3 that he couldn't score a knockout?
Dobson, that son of a bitch is tough though. Did you watch Dobson?
Garcia in there with him, and Garcia will eat his shots all night, dude.
I believe you. Now, that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking he's going to be.
I want somebody that he's going to knock out and look good against. And
Amir Khan would probably be a better fight for him right now at this point.
What about Danny Garcia versus?
I agree.
What about that fight we were talking about last week? Danny Garcia versus Thomas Lamana. He was calling him out.
Actually, you know who else said they're going to fight Ben if the money's right? And he just got to win. Think about it. And he's got the name Kell Brook.
Yeah, but when did he get his win? Are you talking about the Amir Khan fight?
He's sitting on that win. He said if the money was right, he'd come back.
Kell Brook can take a shot.
I don't want to see that man in the ring again.
But I don't want to see his eye broken again. Dude had he went up to fucking 160, fought Triple G, got his face fucking.
But he did beat Amir Khan in his last fight. So that holds some weight in England. We're not selling the fight in America. But hey, they do got to sell that fight in Vegas.
You got a point though. Khan versus fucking Ben, but they can't do it in England because he's banned. That's
but they can do that. Yeah. That's why I think that it would make sense to do maybe Danny Garcia.
And I wasn't being sarcastic when I was saying Lamana versus Garcia. Garcia's had almost 2 years off now. Lamana's got the record.
Be a good fight. I mean, it would be.
Stop, bro. Stop.
A tune-up fight.
He's still tasting his Rondy Lara's ass. Stop.
Whatever happened to Garcia Lara? That was supposed to go down a while ago.
That's not going to happen. He's fighting that stripper. He's a mandatory.
Yeah, stripper. You talking about that dude from Australia?
That dude's really a stripper. He was a stripper. Yeah, he paid himself into boxing.
Wait, who does Lara have to fight?
It starts with a Z, I think.
Michael Zarafa.
Michael Zarafa.
That guy can fight though.
Yeah, he's a stripper by day. I'm just telling you. I know the facts. Yeah. I'm just,
Can't knock the hustle, cuz.
So the Boutinas versus Mario Barrios fight. What do you think about that?
Who's fighting Barrios?
Boutinas is getting that fight.
Boots kills him. Boots fucking murders him.
I know. I don't know why they're making that fight, but they're making it.
Yeah, now I want to see Boutinas versus. We were just talking about earlier, Virgil Ortiz or even Cromwell. He should be fighting.
I just don't know how his career is going to move right now because he has that litigation hanging over him with that Cameron Duncan contract. So who knows who's going to be able to work with or without that deal.
Cameron just passed away, right?
Yeah, but his foundation or whatever.
Just like when Andre Ward's promoter passed away, Goosen, the contract was still valid. Rock Nation had to purchase that contract.
Yeah, but you know what? There's guys right now that's going to end up buying that shit. These heavy promoters are going to buy that shit. They'll just say, you know what?
Oh yeah,
I want Boots. I'm going to buy it. It's a matter of time. I don't. It ain't gonna go into litigation. It's gonna be bought out.
It looks like they're trying to get him over to DAZN because his father already trains Andy Cruz, who's getting paid big dollars from DAZN.
And Andy Cruz is the fucking truth, man.
Yeah, but he's older.
Yeah, but
my thing is, I ain't got a problem with older fighters.
Four times he beat Keyshawn Davis. I know it's for amateurs, but he wants Keyshawn. I don't think Keyshawn wants that. Not at all.
Hey, it all changes in 12-round fights with no helmets, man. Them 3-round fights, a lot of them, they mean something because you can throw a lot of punches, but can you take a shot when them helmets come off?
And I'm going to tell you another thing. Keyshawn, I like his style. I think he's a good fighter, but he needs to stay the fuck away from Tio.
You want me to tell you guys something? My theory of what I believe with Cuban fighters, you want to know what my theory is with Cuban fighters, whether people like this or not, from my perspective and from what I seeing them in the gym, seeing the way they progress, the way they
Americanized too much.
You got to think two things about them. You got to think two things about them. The older fighters, right? They fucking had so many amateur fights that a lot of them get stuck in their amateur experience. They have a lot of the bad amateur habits. You know, if you've seen, there's been 3 Cubans that were highly touted. Elvis Gomez got beat. That deaf kid the other day just upset the number 9 guy. You guys see that? The Julian Smith fight?
No.
He beat. He was 7-2.
Yeah.
And he fought the number 9 guy in the WBO for the international title.
Knocked him out.
Pummeled the guy. Pummeled him. You know. So my thing about them is
Robsy Ramirez. He lost his. Remember Ramirez on his pro debut? He lost to.
Well, that's another one. Yeah, Robesi Ramirez. No, he lost to a Colorado kid.
Yeah, he just lost.
He lost to that Jacob. Yeah, he lost to a kid from Colorado. I think it was like Jacob Cruz or something like that. But anyways,
I thought he lost to a Mexican from Mexico.
He lost to one of Steve Mesta's fighters.
I gotcha.
And then another thing you got to think about them is you never know what their real age is.
Luis Ortiz is 64.
You know, he's fighting again.
Dude, who's he fighting? He just announced it.
Jabba.
F.A.M. Jabba. Which is
I think he's going to knock Jabba out.
It's a better fucking it's the co-main event. It's a co-main event that Jared Anderson.
I think he's going to knock Jabba out.
A Frenchman.
I think he's going to knock Jabba out if he has anything left.
I think he might knock Anderson out. That's why they ain't making that fight.
He's so dangerous because all he got to do is land one
time.
Just one. Just one. He got the one.
FA's a good fighter, but he doesn't pull the trigger like you got to pull the trigger against.
My thing about him is he telegraphs his punches. So a fluid heavyweight is going to beat him.
Somebody like Ortiz.
Done. It's tough to fight a younger fighter.
You can say what you want about Ortiz.
Years old.
Hey, you can say what you want about Ortiz, but out of all the heavyweights, he lets his fucking hands go.
I'll take my money. I'll pay to watch Ortiz. He's one of them guys.
Yeah.
He might. I'll even pay. I'll pay for his AARP membership right now.
He's a fucking relic, dude. The motherfucker should be in a Smithsonian, but I don't give a shit. If I see him like
telling me that Effie Jabba got a chance against a guy that put Wilder down? Good fucking luck. I think he's getting sent to the cemetery.
I'm not big on that thing.
I said,
me neither.
To fight dinosaurs.
The thing is, Jabba's slow too.
The problem is,
I can never forget a Jabba.
He's limited. He's limited, bro.
I don't understand. I don't understand how this is the co-fucking main event. I mean, I love Top Rank. I know I love what they're doing, but Jared Anderson versus Riyad Murthy, who's a cruiserweight, I think he just got beat by Kevin Lorena in South Africa. He doesn't belong in a main event against Jared Anderson. Jared Anderson needs a better fighter to grow off of. But that tells me that Top Rank was not impressed. With his fight, his last fight, it was a tough fight against Charles Martin. And it tells me that they wasn't impressed and they know he needs to rebuild. That's why they put him against Murray. This should be the co-main event. Ryan Murray versus Jared Anderson, and Luis Ortiz and Effie needs to be the main event. It's a better fight.
This is a step back from Charles Murray, but also let's not forget that the kid But let's not forget,
Murray was a
you know, these
badass.
guys are heavyweights. We're two things to think about. We're coming off a holiday. Fucking heavyweights love to eat. And two, he's coming off some legal troubles. So I'm sure training hasn't been the number one focus in the last couple of months.
Right,
Luis Ortiz put Charles Martin to sleep not too long
But
ago.
Charles Martin was the former heavyweight champion of the world, so you still got to give him some fucking credit. And Martin came in shape. Martin was letting his hands go. That was a good fight.
Martin actually was an underrated guy.
Didn't Martin win his title when the dude broke his leg in the ring?
Yeah, I think he broke something.
And then Joshua, that was Joshua's first title, right?
Hey, guess what, bro? People don't give Chris Berg credit for being Klitschko. He separated his shoulder trying to hit the motherfucker, but guess what? He couldn't hit him. So it is what it is. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
right?
I gotta be Ibushi sure hit him though.
Yeah, but Chris Berg, Klitschko had problems with him.
That was one of those brutal uppercuts I've ever seen in my fucking life, dude. And he took it like.
But you got to give Berg credit because Berg boxed middleweight in the Olympics, man. That's a bad fucking dude. That's a bad fucking dude. Chris Berg was a bad man.
I love Chris Berg. Chris Berg actually is a great chef too. I've been looking at his food on fucking Facebook, man. The dude, I don't know if he's opened his own restaurant, but he's doing some fucking gourmet shit, dude. And he makes me fucking hungry. I don't even want to be on his Facebook because I'm like, damn, this dude can cook, man. You know, Chris is good at everything. Chris is just a genuine good person. I love the guy. We need to get him on the show one day.
I can get him on that. He's really good friends with my buddy. They fought in the amateurs together. I was going to tell you, his brother and his sister boxed too, huh?
Yeah, Tracy Bird and Patrick Bird.
Yeah, his brother was bad too. That whole family fought, I guess.
Yeah, I think his brother didn't train as much, and he kind of laxed a little bit. But I think he fought some pretty tough guys.
He had some Tuesday night fights.
Exactly. Right? You used to love that shit, dude. You know.
So who do you guys think? Who do you guys think is the top prospect in boxing right now?
Man, there's actually quite a bit of talent, man. I mean, man, I'd have to think about it. What's that cat? He's a Golden Boy fighter. I can't remember his name. He kind of reminds me of Barboza, but dude has brutal power, and he sets everything up perfectly. I can't remember his name. He's one of them. Guy, several.
That guy, Abdul Mason.
Mason's good.
I don't know if he's a top prospect, but he comes to mind. Do you still consider Keyshawn Davis a prospect?
Yes, I do. Especially if he's going to talk shit to Tio. Wasn't he? I think he was the one talking shit to Tio. Yeah, he don't want Tio, bro.
I'm gonna give a blast from the past. I remember Eddie was about to lose his mind back in the day when he had the Prospect of the Year contest, or Prospect of the Year for the ATG Radio Awards. And we gave it to Ronald Cruz over, I believe it was Javier Fortuna that was going against him. And Eddie lost his shit.
I told you he was going to not make it.
In retrospect, he was 100% correct.
I'm going to tell you.
Have you seen the Tito Mercado kid from Mosley's hometown?
No.
Oh, my God.
From Pomona?
Yeah, he knocked out Nakatila, who Shakur already fought. He's only got 14 fights. He beat Keyshawn Davis in the amateurs, too, while you guys are talking about Davis.
Yeah.
Hey, Eddie Hearn's putting him on a card now.
Dude, Saturday night, the Zone had a fight. It was a WBO light.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Yes.
I know you're talking about.
Animal.
Well,
5'10" lightweight.
God, can they stop Lundy from fighting, please? Jesus.
Yeah, Lundy needs to pack it in. He would be a great trainer, though, man. He needs to train.
He was in his prime. He was so fucking good. So good.
Lundy,
you know what's crazy? Some of those opponents, though, they're really good. Like I can remember when Livingstone Bramble, till he hung him up, he would never get hit, even in his losses. You know, Bramble was the shit as an opponent. But these new guys, no. They're dead. I think that the training methods today aren't working, to be honest with you. People are talking about that these fighters' careers are way shorter. You know what I mean? They're injured way faster. I think that they're building softer fighters nowadays.
All right, so who's the best trainer right now?
The best trainer right now.
Right now, top trainer in the game. If your kid was about to start fighting, about to start boxing, you had one choice of a trainer, who are you going to send him to or her to?
Freddie
like the
Roach still.
man. I like Nacho still. I like that.
I still like Freddie Roach, Bernstein, yeah, Nacho. I like
Freddie's all right, man. I'm just, there's
I like
I
that.
think
Virgil Hunter's still who he is. He just don't his gym ain't got who it's supposed to. But
I like that
Virgil's pretty great.
Nebraska. I like that Omaha camp.
that Whispering
Eddie
Eddie
shit.
Croft is good in the Bay Area. You guys, what about the guy that trained Ward in the amateurs in the Olympics? What was his name? Bash Ali or Ali Bashir. He was
Oh
good.
Yeah.
He trained
Well,
a
you
lot
know,
of Olympic guys, right? Didn't
Tommy
he used to train,
Yankello.
I think the
yeah,
best
out of
trainer right
Pittsburgh.
now. I think it's what's his name? Not Red, but
Bomac.
big boy, Bomac,
Bomac.
dude. I mean,
That's it.
and the reason I say that, Bomac, of course, trains Crawford. You see what he did with him, but in about a 3 to 4 month period, Chris Eubank Jr., who had Roy Jones as the trainer, try to act like Roy Jones, got knocked the fuck out, went to Bomac basically for his career. And Bomac said, "We're going to go back to basics. We're going to do it." And he actually looked fucking fantastic. Bomac got arrested
Yeah,
on the
but
gun
Leon
charge.
Smith had one leg in that fight too, though. Something was wrong with his leg.
I was about to say, I respect him. That man doesn't matter what country
Yeah, but
he's
his
in,
style
he stays
changed.
strapped.
You got to respect. You got to respect.
No,
the
for
game,
sure.
man.
He gets respect. You know why? He gets respect because the guy that's his champion, he rapped since the amateurs. Right there. That's why I tell people say
Well,
what they want, but I'm like, how many of you guys rapped an Olympic champion from the amateurs?
Bomac
Have you rapped his
400, 400 pounds, and they talk shit about his weight, but I'm telling you, dude, it don't matter. The dude knows his
He
fucking
fought. It
shit.
doesn't matter.
He
He was a
knows the
fighter
game.
though. He was a pro
He knows the
fighter.
game, and he
Was
he's
a pro fighter.
student. Yeah,
Listen,
he's a student of the game.
all the great trainers were shit fighters. Listen to this. Freddie Roach turned out to be shit at the end. I'm just saying.
I wouldn't go that far saying shit.
20
Freddie had
losses,
balls.
man. He wasn't
Well,
elite. Freddie had heart. Listen, Freddie, listen,
in his
listen.
prime, he was
Listen.
fighting decent guys and keeping it. He wasn't great though.
I know, but I'm
give
just saying. Okay, Freddie had like a world pound for pound champion heart in a fucking less than Mickey Ward ability is what I'm saying. You get what I mean? His heart took him further in fights. You know who I compare Freddie Roach to? Ebo Elder. Same fighter. Same exact
fucking
fighter.
Ebo. I knew Ebo.
I
Ebo
know.
was a bad little fucker,
They're
man.
the same fighters though, right? You agree?
Yeah, well, but Ebo had that fucking melon, man. He had a big fucking head. That's the only difference.
Same fighters
But I
though.
love him.
Heart carry him.
Dude,
You remember the Burton
Ebo-
fight? You ever seen the
Yeah.
Ebo Burton fight?
Yes. I
That's
was
one of the
there,
greatest
bro.
fights ever. Tell me it's not.
Oh, 100%. I'm about to.
Bro, they're in the 10th fucking round praying for that man.
Ebo was
That's
a bad little bastard. I loved him.
Yes.
And he was a good dude. He was good people too, man. He was
He's a
very,
preacher
very
now.
Christian. Yeah, he quit boxing to preach.
Yeah.
I would.
So what I'm
think
saying is,
Ebo.
I take that back. I guess I retract that. What I'm trying to say is the best trainers are the ones that made the biggest mistakes in the ring. And I'll give them to you. Freddie Roach, right?
Yeah.
Bomac, Derek
John David
James.
Jackson.
Derek James. John David Jackson was a champion, though.
Yeah, but he fucked
Derek
up, man.
Derek
He
James.
fucked up big. He
Derek
fucked up big
James.
against Jorge Castro.
Ronnie
Derek
Shields.
James.
Ronnie Shields.
Ronnie was an Olympian. The thing with Ronnie was going to the Olympics. I don't know if you know the story. Me and Ronnie were tight, man. I've been to his house many times, to his family. He's a great guy, but he was working. He was working in Houston, south of Houston. I think he was doing electrical work or something, or working on the poles. But he got sick. He got the flu. He was supposed to go to the Olympics, and on the 1980 Poland plane that crashed, and everybody on his team that went got killed in the plane wreck, and he missed that. And I think that really weighed on his career as a pro. And he did good. He fought good guys, but I think that if he would have been on that plane and that plane wouldn't have crashed, and he would have went a lot farther. Dude was talented, man. But that really fucked with him. That plane wreck that killed all his friends, wiped out almost the whole team. But he had the flu that week, and he couldn't make the flight.
Wow.
I
I didn't mean to say shit fighters. What I meant to say was they lost the biggest fights, and because of that, you know what I mean. If they really care about their fighters, like I've noticed being around those guys. I'll give you an example. Eddie Croft, right? Eddie Croft lost to Tom Boom Boom Johnson, Eric Morales, and Mark Antonio Barrera, right?
Mm-hmm.
So my point is, he was in all these big fights, and he lost to like these guys, but he was outgunned. He's straight up. He's like, look, the guy was a better fighter. He said when he fought Eric Morales, he was telling the story at the Top Rank table. It was hella funny. He said that he went down there and he went with his friend, right? Because he was out of boxing for a year or 2 years, but it was a WBC convention. So Morales got to get a title defense against an unranked guy. They did that back then. So he said he went out there and he went with his friend. He didn't even take a corner. And he told his friend, look, if this fucking fight gets out of control, fucking throw the towel in, right? So he says that in the first round, he said he knew he was out of shape, right? But he already had an eye injury too. So he said he's moving him around. And then he says he fucking decks Morales with a good one. He said he turned the monster on in that motherfucker. He said he grit his teeth. And Morales just started putting it on him, right? So then he says he's looking at the corner for his friend, and his friend froze with the towel. So finally his fucking friend throws the towel in, right? The ref looks at the corner, looks at Croft, picks the towel up, throws it back outside the ring, and lets this motherfucker to continue taking his ass whooping, right? Then he says, he's like, to fucking make it worse, right? He says, I get done and I'm walking out. The first thing I do, I get hit with a pizza. I'm like, fuck.
A pizza. Holy shit.
But
Eddie can fight.
You know what I mean?
Eddie can fight.
Him going through those motions and being in those fights, you know what I mean? These are the guys that give a fuck about fighters because they've actually been there and they were in the position, but they were so close but didn't get there. So they just remember all their mistakes, you know? And when they see a fighter make them, they catch them. I'm saying if you were a champion like Roy Jones and you were dominating everybody, what the fuck could you remember learning in a big fight? You don't remember shit but celebrating. You get what I'm saying? Oh, yeah. But these guys that they were so close and didn't get the glory is what I'm saying. They hold on to those memories and these mistakes and they just drill it into these guys. So yeah, that's what I think. I think that a lot of the fighters that had big fights and they were more the ones that lost and didn't bask in glory to make the better fighters or the better trainers for world-class fighters.
I can't disagree at all with that. I can't disagree. Rufus, go ahead.
Here's another topic I wanted to bring up. We mentioned Roy Jones a few times on the show. Let's take it back a couple months. Roy Jones went into a fight with former UFC champion Anthony Pettis and took an L.
That was a hometown cooking, though. He beat him.
He was fighting Anthony fucking Pettis, dude. I mean, Roy would have knocked this dude out in 2
He fought him in his hometown, too. You guys know that, right? It was Pettis' hometown.
They know how to watch
Roy, you know what? Hey, I don't got no problem with them legends fighting as long as they're matched evenly. Let them do what they want. You know, it's like you can't tell the old timers they can't play in old timer games, right?
Right.
They're playing against old timers.
James Toney and Roy Jones, I wouldn't mind seeing that right now. A 4-round exhibition.
Yeah, but James just tried to fight
Razor Ruddock in Jamaica.
James, if James wants to do that again, he's got to lose at least 80 pounds for us to take him serious in those competitions.
Well, we'll never take him serious. I mean, dude, he's fucking 50 years old. I mean,
I'm saying against people his own age, though. Against people his own age.
Him and Roy, I wouldn't mind seeing that. But I've seen Roy against Tyson. Holy shit, dude.
Tyson probably steamrolls all those guys.
At the same time, like I respect guys like Hopkins who just once Father Time got him, he was gone.
Yeah, Joe
Smith. Hopkins is Father Time. Hopkins is Father Time.
Yeah, but he realized when he got knocked out by Joe Smith, he was like, "All right, yeah."
Well, you know what happens, right? After 40, he didn't even start. There's no point. Just he would get in around time, but that's about it.
I think Eddie froze up on us.
Yeah, I think it did too.
I did.
I can hear you now. You're breaking in and out when you were going through that last thing. Could you repeat that?
No, I said that Hopkins didn't spar towards the end of his career. Like once he was 40 years old, he stopped sparring. So, here's a question. This is a fucking hot topic right here. What do you guys think about what they did to that Ishmael Barroso?
What happened to Barroso?
That was the guy that was beating Raleigh, and fucking Tony Weeks fucking stopped the fight.
Okay, yeah, now I remember. I mean, fuck.
That's a fucked up situation. Hey,
And now
do you want to know a
Raleigh's
story I
playing
heard about
football.
that guy? Hey, do you want to
Who,
know a
Raleigh?
story I heard about? Huh?
Raleigh or Weeks?
No, about the Barroso guy.
Oh, yeah.
Tim, tell me this isn't fucked up. Are you ready? You listening?
I'm ready.
Mike.
Yeah.
So I was telling him about this fucked up story. You know Ishmael Barroso, the guy that was beating Raleigh, right?
Oh yeah, I love Barroso.
Okay. So I don't know if you guys are aware of this, but Barroso was supposed to be the mandatory after he beat fucking O'Hara Davies.
Right.
Because
Yeah, I
they
knew
told him, they gave him the O'Hara Davies fight as the mandatory, right?
Yeah, but did you hear? I don't know if you heard what I heard though. I heard that Tank Davis and his team was actually thinking about Barroso when they went up and going up to 140, and it
Okay.
still might be happening. So Barroso might actually win the lottery. You know,
I don't think
from
that'll happen because I don't just think it'll get ridiculed, but it's just he's in a fucked up situation. Let me tell you what makes me want that guy to get a title shot. Do you know
He's awesome.
that guy's wife got killed during his weigh-in of the Safakina fight in New York?
What?
His wife got
No.
kidnapped in Venezuela and held ransom. They thought he had all kinds of, they killed her. Paulie Malignaggi seen him cry and win, and asked him what happened. He said, "My wife got murdered in Venezuela," and he went to fight Isafa Kinda the next day.
Holy shit, that's something I didn't know.
That's
Damn.
why I'm
That's
telling you,
wild.
that's the craziest story in boxing. That guy is the most deserving guy of a title shot. He's done everything possible on top of that. After he got stolen.
That's happened more than once. I've heard that Sonny Liston. A lot of people said this, but a lot of people dispute it. But I heard Sonny Liston when he fought Muhammad Ali in the rematch. They actually kidnapped his family and threatened to kill him and held him ransom until he took a dive. I could believe it.
I've heard some crazy stories.
Yeah,
I mean, boxing has just been filled with all kind of controversy. Like a lot of people don't know, like the Jess Willard fight. What was it against Jack Dempsey?
Dempsey. Yeah, he had a railroad spike in his glove.
Supposedly, yeah, the gloves were loaded. Doc Kearns wrote a book about it, and Jack Dempsey ended up suing Sports Illustrated. They retracted the story, ended up writing this crazy article about Dempsey apologizing and what an ambassador he was to the game. But yeah, Doc Kearns said he set that fight up. He said back then, whatever advantage you can get away with, you can get away with. So
I want to fit this in real quick, man. I mean, I don't want to lose track, but I definitely want to fit this in. Saturday night on DAZN, we had WBO light flyweight title fight. Civ is Sinafi, but they call him Civ. Not Shinga versus Carell. The guy lost his title. Civ was the champion, lost his title, got blown out by this guy. Went to his home country in Mexico and gets beat for fucking 9-10 rounds, dude. Plays, it was Muhammad Ali versus George Foreman all over again. Rope-a-dope. He rope-a-doped this dude until he got wore out. He lost the whole fight, and then Civ turns it around and knocks his ass out. Knocks the shit out of him. Regains his title, does it in Mexico. I just want to say props. I tried to get him on the show, but he's got a lot going on right now, parades and all that, and he never got back to me, but I will get him on the show eventually. But Civ, congratulations, my man. That's the kind of fights that make guys love this sport. And
I did see that.
Love it, man.
And they got to run that back. And I'll tell you why. That fight got to get run back because you just said the second fight was a pretty much the other
They can
way.
run
And
that
in the
fight
first
every
fight,
week.
what's ironic is the guy Curel only had but 5 knockouts in like 30 fights and knocked him
Yeah,
out. So
it
that
went
was,
right through him. Yeah,
yeah, that's why there has to be a rubber match in that one. So
I
yeah, I'm
can't
with you.
wait.
That was a good fight. It was a great performance. Comeback fight of the year probably he's gonna get. And you know,
And we had Oshaki Foster, who from Houston, man. I know the guy. I know Bobby Benton, his trainer. I guess Abraham Nova. It was a pretty good fight. Foster showed a lot of heart, man. I
they
want to
were
see
gonna steal
Foster
it from
push the
him
top
though.
guy.
He
They
didn't
were
get that
trying.
knockdown. They were gonna steal it from him.
They were trying, man. They were trying.
I couldn't believe it. I was like this. I didn't want that to happen because I was like, you know what? I was like, fucking 2 times in a row on ESPN. That's gonna be a really fucking bad look,
Yeah.
Because let's keep it real. Ortiz beat the living shit out of Teofimo Lopez. I don't let somebody tell me running. I'm like, wait a minute. Running is when you are moving and you ain't throwing punches, but you're turning angles and you're hitting the guy with 2-3 shots, and then the guy comes forward and he's beating his chest like King Kong. You don't win a fight like that.
Yeah, but the punch stats didn't Tio actually outland him?
But those punch stats, no. Supposedly the punch stats that were broadcasted at the end of the fight was 82-80. But if you notice, those punch stats numbers didn't come on fucking live during the whole fucking fight. So that CompuBox shit, just like a judge can be paid, I don't give a fuck. I'm not with that shit. If y'all ain't seeing them CompuBox numbers live, I'm never for them. But if you go back and watch that fight, he got outlanded by 30, 40 punches easy. Your eyes didn't fucking deceive you. He wasn't doing shit. Okay, let me ask you a question. If you judge that fight, so Ortiz got 7 or 8 knockouts. He's supposed to sit fucking there and fight a fight that ain't his, that he didn't train for in the gym, and go there sock 'em, rock 'em robots? No. Second of all, if you're sitting there and you're fighting an elite fucking unified champion, and you're fighting him with the opposite skill hand and beat him, and he got no answer, who executed what fight? Who executed their game plan and who did it?
Eddie, you got to remember, pressure makes diamonds. Okay.
Nah, you got to remember
the
fucking judges, Stephen fucking Weisfeld. Stephen fucking Weisfeld. Go look up Stephen Weisfeld's fucking track record. Stephen Weisfeld. Yeah, this is a guy that was going to be on fucking celebrity judges. Anybody that's a celebrity judge on TV, like Larry Hazard or fucking Letterman, their scorecards are always questionable. It is what it is.
Isn't Stephen Weiss, wasn't he engaged to Letterman's daughter or got married or something like that?
I don't even want to know, but I know, all I know is you look at his track record. Actually, Stephen Weisfeld, Bob Arum. Hey, do you think there's collusion there?
Man, you know what? I'm not even.
A Jewish fucking judge is the one. A Jewish judge is who decided to fucking fight for Teofimo Lopez, because his fucking scorecard didn't even correlate with the other 2 judges' scorecard. He didn't even see a fight. He saw Lopez dominate. Explain that to me.
But dude,
118, 110. What fight did he see?
Oh boy, is boring as shit though, man. He was
no, that ain't boring, bro. That's boxing, bro. We can't fucking change the definition. Listen, is the sport called boxing?
This is all boxing.
Is the sport called boxing or fighting?
It's called boxing, but it's also called.
So if Ortiz is running, right, Tim? Let me ask you a question. If Ortiz is running, right, like Mayweather was running in the Castillo fight, isn't it Ortiz? Isn't it Teofimo Lopez's job to catch Ortiz?
Yeah, and was he actually running now, or was he boxing?
No, he was boxing. We got this new definition for boxing now. We call it running. When guys can't hit the other guy and they're eating the fucking jab all night. This is all the dude did. He stood in the fucking ring and went like this to the crowd. He didn't do shit.
He also missed a lot against Tio also. He didn't land a lot of punches. He missed a lot of punches. Tio did.
He ate the jab. Teo stopped coming in. Why was Teo calling him forward?
Coming in?
Because every time he came forward, he was eating the fucking jab. Stop.
He's sitting there following.
This guy got him. Fucking
like Joe Frazier, just following him all around the fucking ring, dude.
Okay, let me ask you a question.
What happened to the Sander Martin fight? Same kind of shit.
The Sander Martin fight? Sander Martin,
I don't know why the fuck they're. But here's the thing: they match him against guys like Taylor. He looks great. Then they match him against Sandra Martin was a mistake. That should never happen at all. It might have been mandatory. Horrible style against Theo. You got these guys that are getting matched with them that are horrible fucking style.
But you know what?
They wouldn't even
At the end of the day, I said it today. Teofimo Lopez, look, Teofimo Lopez and Shakur Stevenson are the odd man out. You want to know why? Because Ryan Garcia has found his way in the ring with Tank Davis, and he's now finding himself in the ring with Ryan Garcia. So guess what they all got in common? They're getting in the fucking ring with each other, and these guys aren't. At the end of the day, the public's going to end up seeing that and say, okay, well, who have they fought? They ain't even fought each other.
And you know what? Raleigh should be in that fucking mix too. That's why I wish Raleigh and Garcia would have happened because they got a lot of history.
Mix.
Raleigh, no, he's all yeah, but I think
he's in the mix.
I think Cruz might beat him, bro. I think Cruz might beat him.
Yeah, Raleigh's in the mix.
You know, if Barroso could have him like that and pressure him like that, Cruz, man, he's a live dog against Raleigh.
I'm with you. I think, and you know, I'm with you because I also think that Raleigh got more pressure to sell this fight. You know what I mean?
Well, here's the thing: they were supposed to
one doing most of the talking.
They were supposed to fight. Stuff happened. Raleigh ends up taking the Cruz fight because it's on Amazon Prime, and he's saying, "Oh well, Amazon. I'm on Amazon, so I'm not worried about the Garcia fight." Dude, you just lost yourself fucking millions. Because I know he didn't get paid that fight.
That was game though. He knew he wasn't getting the fight. He was just trolling. He knew he wasn't going to get the fight. Back behind the scenes, Haney and Garcia were making the money because you got the two biggest promoters. You got DAZN.
Not at that time. They wasn't talking. That's when it started happening.
Listen, how long has Eddie Hearn had Saudi Arabia in his pocket? Over a year. So he's the one to control all these fights because the generational wealth is coming from
COVID. Pretty much after COVID.
I'm just telling you, the Saudis, they even deal with America. They deal with the BRICS. You get what I'm saying? They're dealing with
They're breaking up real bad, man. Tim, he's breaking up real bad.
Yeah, and you know what? There's an interesting thing I just looked up. You were saying how Cruz is a live dog against Romero, right?
Live.
Interesting enough, he's the favorite. He's minus 225 when Romero's plus 185.
Doesn't shock me whatsoever. And if he does beat Raleigh doesn't screw himself. His career's over. Yeah, he should have.
When you say Cruz was a live dog, I'm like, all right, let me go pull up DraftKings.
Yeah, I wouldn't have been shocked. Yeah, I thought he might even be the favorite. But can Raleigh win that fight? Yeah, I think it's a pretty evenly matched fight. To be honest with you, I can't wait to watch it. But Cruz is bad, man. Dude could fight,
Yeah, I mean, obviously, it's like I thought instantaneously when the fight, I thought Romero would be the favorite. He's the champion, whatever. But based off Cruz's past performances, the Vegas is giving him minus 225. Can't even make money off that.
Cruz is at 135, right? Or 130?
135, I think. I think it's 135.
The fight's at 140, though, right?
They keep on bouncing back and forth, man. I can't keep up. Tank's going to follow everybody up there. I wouldn't be shocked if his next fight's at 140. And it should be. I think he can hold the weight. A lot of people say, oh, he's so short. Dude, it don't make a fuck. Tank is so precise and so quick that he could probably even go to 147. Mark my words.
Tank is like a Rocky Marciano in the sense that his arms are so short that he doesn't need to generate a lot of motion to get power. So if he gets inside, if he gets inside, it's pretty much over because he can generate those short punches, short uppercuts.
The Rocky reference is spot on, man. I mean, it's that one punch. It don't matter. You can win the whole fight just like we were talking about Civ a little bit ago. He don't have to do that though. He don't have to play peekaboo and all that and play rope-a-dope. He lands one shot on you, it's going to erase the 40 shots you landed on him. And Tank could do it. Yeah. Tank is the most precise puncher in boxing today. Very precise.
And I'm going to tell you something. I've seen tape on him because I've seen tape on him. I'm talking about 7, 8-year-old. Like I know a guy that was like 3-0 and was sending me tape. Look, I fought Tank in the amateurs, and when I looked at it, I just was like,
You knew
Fuck.
Tank was
People
a
talk about
champion.
Kermel Mouton. I'm just telling you, when you look at Tank Davis at 8, 9, 10 years old, you're like, you can't fucking believe what you're seeing. Like his form,
Mouton
his
can fight a
boxing.
little bit, but I think it's kind of like what we were talking about before, Eddie. You know, these signing bonuses, these millions of dollars before you even really got in the ring, it ruins careers. And I think that Mouton might be one of them guys. You know, Tank's gritty, man. You know, Tank can kind of handle it. He's had his problems, but he's dealing with it. You know, and he's got the riches all of a sudden, but he's dealing with it. But Mouton, I don't know if Mouton can handle that, man. You know, that's a lot of weight. You know, he's getting banked. Dude's
You know,
getting
I'm
paid.
gonna be honest with you. I just said a couple of days ago, I'm not a big hyper. I buy internet hype, none of that shit. I just look at tape because I'm an old school person. I believe the eye in the sky don't lie. What you see is what you see. With him though, he is the most ready prospect I have ever seen. I'm gonna tell you that he does things that you hope to see in champions when they develop. His
Right.
quick first step out, the way he attacks, he's aggressive. He's got physical strength already at 17 years old. He, to me, is the most ready prospect. You can go on record right now, and I'm going to tell you that he's the most ready prospect I've ever seen since Tony Ayala and Wilfredo Benitez.
Yeah, but you know
I
what happened
think,
with Tony?
I know.
Tony got hyped up. He fell
Tony,
into
no,
the wrong class.
Tony never lost. Tony went to prison. Tony was bad. He won
Oh, I
18
know
fights
he
when he
was.
got out of
Of
jail.
course he was. Yeah, of course he
I'm
was.
just saying. But
And
there
he
was no
fought
hype there.
Yuri Boy
Tony
Campos, a
Ayala,
guy that he would have probably knocked out.
Tony Ayala
years
at
ago,
14 years old was put in the ring with Pepino Cuevas, and
and knocked him out.
that's where his name comes from, Marvelous, because
Yeah,
Pepino Cuevas said,
just like Benitez.
incredible, incredible,
I
incredible.
believe
He couldn't,
Benitez was the same thing.
yeah, but Ayala's
believe-
power, though.
Yeah,
Ayala's
Benitez
power.
sparred Cuevas, and I think Cuevas said the same thing about Wilfred Benitez, or one of them.
Well, I
guys.
mean,
I can't
he
remember
beat Carlos Palomino when he was fucking 20 years old. I mean,
Oh,
that
yeah.
right there says everything. Palomino came back and
I used
almost
to
won the
love
title
Tony,
at 40.
man. I used to love Tony, but they push these guys and they push these guys, and then they drift
But when they're
off.
good, that's what you
I
got to
hope
do,
that
man.
don't happen.
Hey, when they're good,
Depends on
that's
the
what you got to do. Hey, you're right, though. I remember Oscar De La Hoya smoked through a good couple of great prospects. I'm going to give you one. He was up there with Ricardo Williams, Panchito Bojado.
That's what I was bringing up earlier, actually. Yeah. He was-
Bojado was
Oscar put him in with a guy he couldn't beat. He put him in with Stevie Forbes, who beat him.
Stevie Forbes didn't beat Dale. It was
Yeah.
Stevie Forbes. I mean, he's one of them guys you can't look good against, man. He's a stinker. I don't even know why these
But
guys.
Oscar put him in against the guy that you agree more.
I think Oscar wanted to see him lose.
Remember the fight?
That's just
Hey,
my idea.
and then guess who
I've
else he
always
put him
thought
in
that.
with? Then he puts him in with, hold on, it gets worse. Then you put him in with Jesse James Leha, who should be a Hall of Famer. I don't care what anybody say. Jesse James Leha is a Hall of
Leha, I
Famer.
love him. He's an awesome guy. I know Jesse James Leha pretty well, man. Awesome. Representing.
So I mean, Oscar on his first run of prospects, he was going through some great talent. Golden Boy.
Now here's my segue. We're talking about these prospects that are coming up. A lot of hype surrounding them. February 24th on his own, Edgar Berlanga against Paddy McCrory. McCrory's an undefeated guy, Irish fighter. I think he's going to make Berlanga look a lot more spectacular than he's been looking. This is a fight strictly for Berlanga. It's a showcase for a Canelo fight, for a Munguia fight. This is, his showcase fight. If he looks bad in this fight, kind of like Teal with Ortiz, it's going to ruin him, man. It's going to mess him up for a while. Can he rebound? Yeah, of course he can. But Berlanga versus McCrory, it is strictly made to make Berlanga look like a superstar. And time will tell. But February 24th, next week, another prospect that, I'm not so high on, Tim. I'm not big on him yet. He eats punches like he eats lunch.
He's the dude that broke Tyrone Brunson's first round knockout record, right? Or came close to it.
Yeah. And you see what happened to Tyrone Brunson, bro.
I think I'm gonna have to pay for cable. I'm stealing cable.
Berlanga. We're talking about Berlanga. Berlanga's fighting next week against McCrory. He better look good. This is a showcase. This is him basically showing Canelo, Munguia, all these top guys, what I am, can I generate profit? Can I make it an exciting fight? It's up to Berlanga. Berlanga can be his own worst enemy. What do you think, Ed? Do you think he's going to look good? He better.
I'm hoping, yeah, because there's no injury excuse or anything. I mean, I don't even hope. I'm Puerto Rican and I don't even really care for the guy, but
Berlanga's going to
not
get
that it
beat
matters, but
very soon.
he better not get beat, but definitely he needs to
Not
look
against
good
McCrory.
because, yeah, I think Munguia is going to be the route that Eddie Hearn's going to go with those two. That would generate some money on the Mexican side. I don't know if Berlanga
Puerto
brings.
Rican versus Mexican, bro.
Yeah, but I don't know if the Puerto Rican people are behind Berlanga like that. I really don't hear him speaking in Spanish.
But you know what I would do? You know what I would do if I was handling Berlanga and Eddie Hearn? They need to get with Jake Paul and seriously, Jake Paul with Berlanga on his cards in Puerto Rico would build him up to a fucking superstar, dude, and then get with Munguia.
I think he's more. I think he's going to be more along the lines of like a Kermit Centron. You know what I'm saying? I don't even know if he's going to be as good as
very
Kermit,
good assessment.
but I think he's going to fall.
Eddie,
But I think that's where he's going to fall in.
Eddie, did Berlanga break your boy's first round KO record?
No, I don't think he did.
Tyrone?
Brunson?
Yeah.
No, I don't think he did.
Came close though, I think.
I was kind of.
Yeah, I think he didn't get it. I think it was Sierra. He did knock out one of those guys.
I used to like Brunson.
That was it was Desmond Nicholson. That's a tough dude.
Oh yeah, he's been tough for a lot of
from
guys.
the South.
Now, let me ask you this: we last episode we talked about the Canelo sweepstakes. If Berlanga gets this win, is he in the sweepstakes?
Just like I said, man, it's up to Berlanga. Berlanga is going to be his own worst enemy. If he looks bad against McCrory, I like Theo.
I'll tell you a fight. I want to see. I want to see Anthony Yarde against any of those 175 pounders. Even though he got 2 losses, he was beating Kovalev. He's a hell of a puncher. I like Yarde still. He's exciting. I mean, maybe they could make that fight like, oh, I know a good fight. Tell me this fight doesn't make sense for Edgar Berlanga. This is a showcase fight, and if he can win this fight, he could get Canelo. And it'll sell out in New York. Danny Jacobs.
Yeah. I think Danny's retired, man. I think he's done. Yeah, after that Ryder fight, I think that was his last fight. Did he fight a fight?
Maybe, but I'm just saying, for Berlanga, that would make sense. Yeah. That would sell. And that would be a fight that he would know he could get back in the door if he wins. So that's why guys come back for fights like that.
But if he looks shitty, he's going to be in the same boat Tio's in right now.
But you agree, if Danny Jacobs shows up anywhere half decent, he's got a great chance against Berlanga because of his boxing skills.
I would not be shocked at all. He's got power.
And because they're both from New York, it's a huge sell. People will come out to see that fucking fight. Blacks and Puerto Ricans. That's a fucking fight.
Yeah.
That would be the route I would go.
But they need to build him up. But I don't get
Canelo, right? He knocked out a Canelo opponent.
Yeah, but you're showcasing. You're showcasing
John Ryder.
Yeah. Yeah, you're showcasing a Puerto Rican fighter for
he got robbed against John Ryder too.
But for the biggest
he beat John Ryder
fighter, you're showcasing a Puerto Rican fighter for the biggest Mexican fighter in the world right now, and Canelo against a undefeated Irishman. Okay, I know Canelo has red hair, but he's not fucking Irish. Why are you putting a fucking Irishman in there? You need to put somebody a little bit better, a little bit more.
Because they got to make him look good. You just said it, Mike. They got to make him look good.
I know, but there's other names they can make him look good against. I mean,
but they're selling him on an undefeated guy. That's all the Puerto Ricans are going to talk on the.
But McCrory could spoil the fucking bag, man. I'm telling you.
Do you think Berlanga is in the sweepstakes for Canelo? Because we talked about last week, right? He's not going to fight.
Yeah, because he's with Eddie Hearn. Hey, look at this too, Mike. Berlanga just beat a straight up Irish guy that fights just like McCrory.
Yeah.
We need to get Eddie some home internet.
Yeah, we need to do a GoFundMe.
I just need to switch to my home one. I have home internet. Hold on.
I know a guy that works
damn.
for T-Mobile.
There you go. Gotta make that profit, baby. Make that quota.
But honestly, like I pondered this all week, right? Like not a Mexican fighter, so Benitez is out. Who the fuck is Canelo gonna fight? Who makes sense?
Fucking Benavidez, man. I mean, that's really the fight that.
Where's he gonna fight?
Fight that makes sense.
Is he gonna fight Better BF if he beats Bivol?
No. I think he's gonna stay away from light heavyweight. He's done.
So
he's done with light heavyweight.
He's gonna stay away from there, but like who? He's not gonna fight Munguia. He's not gonna fight Benavidez. Who?
Crawford.
Who else
I would
is
not
left?
be shocked. Crawford.
What?
Crawford. He's been very
I
quiet.
don't think Crawford Canelo's happening. I just don't. I could see Berlanga. If Berlanga wins this fight,
I got
Crawford Canelo. You don't think it can happen? Crawford Canelo could happen more than anything. Listen, Crawford Canelo. Listen, let me tell you something. Crawford Canelo is the ultimate sex move. Listen, is the ultimate sex move. Al Heyman on all his fighters. Look, he used Charlo, got all the undisputed belts, fed him to Canelo. Hey, took Crawford, took Spence, who he knew was injured, pulled him out the Pacquiao fight, put him in against Ugas, who he could beat, right? Then he feeds Spence to Crawford. Now he got both guys that he signed for short-term deals, sitting undefeated like both invincible men, with a black and Mexican pay-per-view audiences. Why the fuck would an Al Heyman make that fight if he's been shown to make the best advice for himself before his fighters? Why would he not make that fight?
My thing is a weight discrepancy. There's a huge weight discrepancy in that fight.
It doesn't matter. They're on the same promotion. They got the same advisor, and they're both on the number 1 and 2 and 3 on the pound for pound list.
All right, so let me rephrase the question real quick. What's the fair weight to have them at a catch weight?
157.
It's not going to be titles on the line. It's got
157. 160.
I'd say
here.
I would say between 157 and 160. I think.
Jim, to kill your thought, who's gonna win Who's gonna win that fight? The better boxer, right?
Terrence Crawford.
Do you know that Terrence Crawford has a longer reach than Canelo?
He's live in that fight, man.
Do you know Terrence Crawford has a longer reach than Canelo? Please tell me you knew that. Yeah. You did not know that.
I did not know that.
He's taller.
Eddie's like a fucking boxing encyclopedia.
How tall? He's like 5. Is he 5'10"?
5'11". So let me ask you one more question.
He will fill in great.
Let me ask you one more question. Was Amir Khan not outboxing the shit out of Canelo?
Until the 4th round, until he got put into the shadow realm. But yeah,
that's right. But guess what? Guess what?
Yeah.
Terrence Crawford got twice the boxing ability and twice the chin.
Yeah,
he's got the fucking reach, and he walks around. And he walks around 180 pounds, and he's a former state champion wrestler, which means he's physically strong.
Terrence Crawford, in my opinion, and a lot of our viewers might get mad at me for saying this shit because I'm digging deep, but I think he is one of the best switch hitters since Marvin fucking Hagler. And
since Pernell Whitaker. Pernell Whitaker's the best switch hitter ever.
Yeah, but Pernell didn't switch a whole lot, man. He mainly southpaw. But he didn't switch like Crawford used to switch. He's kind of hanging it as southpaw now. Hagler did the same thing. They got more used to lefty, but
I think he's as vicious as Hagler. I don't think. I think Pernell was a better switch hitter, but I know
savage dude.
He is.
He's got that fucking dude. He's a serial killer. He's a fucking axe murderer in the fucking ring, dude. His only weakness is
the same one as Meldrick Taylor. Is if a fucking fight breaks out, he's going to continue to fight. He fucking loves the fucking fight. He made that mistake in the Kowalski's
fight. He wants that fucking fight. He knows that.
And I'm saying that's where he might lose the fight to Canelo, is if it breaks out heated and he stands in front of him, because he might forget that that naturally the other guy's supposed to be stronger. Because
Yeah, but I think
physically,
Crawford's a smarter fighter than Meldrick Taylor, though.
Well,
but my point is his heart can get him in trouble sometimes. He got hurt against Gamboa in the 7th round doing the same thing.
Right.
Yeah, but
Gamboa's a little guy.
Yeah, but
Gamboa
was
hurt
a fucking gold medalist, dude. He was a fucking.
Gamboa hurt him is my point. Gamboa hurt him is my point. Kell Brook hurt him too. Kell Brook hurt him.
Crawford was the underdog against fucking Gamboa. Okay, that's
He
how
shouldn't
good
have been.
Gamboa was. No, well,
He shouldn't have been.
That's
Gamboa
why
was chinny.
Gamboa was good though, dude. Motherfucker was a gold medalist. I mean, he was fucking very talented. Little small, but he was very talented. That fight was very even until the later rounds. And then Terrence Crawford used to be a slow starter. Now he's not. He worked on that. And I think Canelo was thinking that he's going to get caught. He's going to get into a brawl. And that's what's making him want that fight.
It's an intriguing fight for me. I'll be honest with you. I would have that fight like, I would have it like 60-40 Canelo. Close to 50-50.
I got to agree with you.
I think it's going to be like a Hagler Leonard fight. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, but you made the Sweet Pea reference. You got to give Sweet Pea credit. He did fight guys. He jumped fucking weight divisions. He fought smaller guys. He fought bigger guys. Ended up fighting Nelson. Fought fucking Julio Cesar Vasquez.
He beat the shit out of Julio Cesar Chavez.
Yeah,
you talk about punch stats. He outlanded Chavez by 100 fucking punches.
But in the beginning, he fought Vasquez, and Vasquez was a very fucking good, 154 pounder. And
Jose Ramirez.
Jose, and he beat Ramirez, beat the hell out of him twice. He should have been undefeated for a long time. I miss Purnell. Rest in peace, brother. I really, Purnell was a different breed, man.
He's top 20 greatest champions of all time in my book. I got him in the top 20.
So wait, I missed something. You guys were saying that, or Eddie, I heard you say if the fight happens, if it happens between where you putting the weights at 157 between 157 and 160, you're going to go 60-40.
157 to 164 is where I think it would be made in that weight division.
I think Crawford is
157 to 160. I'm favoring Crawford.
I think he's going to choose 160, and I think Crawford's not going to do that catchweight shit. He's too old school. He's too fucking savage.
But
say, fuck you.
If they did 68, it breaks all the records because it'll be the first 3-time undisputed champion. If Terrence Crawford wins that,
I wouldn't be shocked at 160.
3-time undisputed. That's never been done. That's why they're going to push for this fight.
I think Charlo still has. Wait, what's Charlo?
What's sad is I don't know who the middleweight champion is.
Crawford was undisputed at 40, 47. Now we be talking about 168. That's never been done in the history of the sport. 3 divisions undisputed.
That's too big of a jump.
I have to agree with them on that, but I'm telling you, Crawford is savage enough that he would fucking take it. And he would take it,
but if he was getting a tune-up at 168, I would feel a little bit.
So let me ask you a question. Wait a minute. Let me fuck your brain. Fuck you.
Every time you
what if he takes the fight?
Ask you a question.
I love that.
What if he takes the fight at 168, right? And he shows up at 164, fucking shredded as fuck. He don't need the 4 pounds. Then what?
But look at Manny Pacquiao, man. Manny Pacquiao had fucking.
Canelo's going to rehydrate.
Had weights in his fucking sweatpants, dude. He had weights in his sweatpants, and he fucking beats the shit out of De La Hoya. I know De La Hoya was fucking, shrunken down, but if that can happen.
Fights at 168, Canelo's going to rehydrate to 175, around there, give or take.
I don't think so. I don't think that his team.
Yeah, you give me a no rehydrate.
So let me ask you.
Fuck yeah, I'm betting on Crawford.
Crawford ain't doing no rehydrate. He ain't no bitch. He ain't going to bitch move. He is.
I'm telling you guys right now, while Al Heyman has both those guys on the same contract, he's pushing for that fight. What I think it is, Canelo don't want it, and I think he's got to convince him. And I think that Canelo's sitting there teetering, either get me this fight.
Wants Crawford, I'm telling you.
Canelo's got everything to lose against Crawford.
He's also got everything to gain.
Canelo done made the statement that he don't want to fight a little guy because if he loses to a little guy, people say he fought a little guy. If he beat a little guy, they say he beat up on a little guy.
Exactly.
Yeah, but I think it breaks records that he knows.
Crawford's got nothing
to lose
fight except for a 0. Canelo's got everything to lose. He loses that pay-per-view draw. Well, not he still doesn't lose.
Listen, though.
Both
Listen,
guys-
it breaks
Pay-per-view
records
cash.
because I tell you what. Look, the internet is a powerful thing right now, right? And what I'm saying is a guy like Terrence Crawford wouldn't even been known in Mexico 40 years ago. But because of the power of the internet, people know who the fuck Crawford is now.
And ATG radio, mind you.
Thank you, Tim.
But you agree, right? That fight
Shout
is
to
going to
Bobak.
sell in the
Shout out the
I
Red
think
Spike.
that fight would do. I think it would do somewhere 1.7, and I wouldn't be surprised if it would do all the way up to like 2.1 million buys.
I guarantee you.
I'm all about fucking Crawford getting that fight since day one.
And I
Crawford
think
gonna
they
be
could
down
charge.
number one.
I think they could charge $99.99 on the fight
I would pay
all
it.
day.
I wouldn't even steal it. I would pay for
They're
that.
gonna get a
I think a lot of
spectacle.
boxing people are going to say that.
They're not gonna
you know?
just get a fight. They're gonna get
Probably
a
gonna still
fucking
steal
event.
it, but
Because now
Let me ask you a
Crawford-
question. Now, what if they do that fight in Saudi Arabia? Now they got the money too.
they got that
I don't
fuck
think-
you money. That's a
Yeah,
huge
but-
difference.
But
I
they're
think it's
greedy.
lot-
They want our
think-
shit. That's
I
why
don't
they're
think it
overpaying. You get that, guys, right? They're overpaying
I want
for all
good
these
fights.
fights.
I don't give a shit.
Okay,
I want
you
good
understand
fucking
they
fights.
bought
Making
out.
the fights happen.
Tim, you understand they bought out the golf league, right? It's now Live
Yeah.
Golf. They own the shit. You understand? They bought our golf. They bought the
Because they-
PGA Tour. You understand this?
Okay.
They have
Okay.
that fuck you money. I'm not complaining.
But
So
they
what I'm
also
saying
are
is-
boxing fucking fans and they want the greatest fights and they're
But here's
making
the
But
thing,
guess what?
right?
Boxing fans don't write the check. Boxing fans don't write the check in the room. The Saudis do.
When it comes to politics and shit, obviously I'm not going to agree with
Boxing
Saudi
fans
Arabia,
do
Mr.
write the check,
Politics.
dude. They're in it for
But-
the money too. They want to make a profit.
But
They're not
paying
that
these
fucking
guys-
bad.
So why
they're
is
paying
Fury?
these guys
So why
more
is
money
Fury?
than ever.
So why is Fury and Usyk in Saudi Arabia, the baddest man on the title planet, the old title? Why? Right?
They got fuck you money. And they got boxing fans that want to watch fights and they got the money to produce them.
But what I'm telling you guys is, you do understand that
As
the
a boxing fan, though, Eddie, it's a great time to be a boxing fan with Saudi paying these guys what they fucking want to make.
it's a great time to be a boxer right now. Imagine the fighters what they're getting.
That too. And
They're
then you
seeing
got Jake
astronomical
Paul.
amounts.
We were talking
That's
about
why
Jake Paul earlier. Jake Paul's donating his purses to the boxers in the different organizations and everything like that. I mean, these boxers are starting to get paid, man. All these guys in the 70s and the 60s, they didn't make shit. They always said, well, the old school guys fought, 20, 30 times in a year. Yeah, you fucking had to make a damn living because you didn't get shit. You got guys like
Let me
Sugar
ask you a
Ray Robinson
question:
that make $1,000 a fight.
if Raleigh gets past Pitbull Cruz, right?
He's not going to.
If he does,
That's a 50-50 fight to me.
60-40.
would you guys not enjoy this fight? Adrian Broner versus Raleigh.
Thank you. Yes. Yes.
Broner's washed.
I think boxing needs this fight.
Broner
I
is
think boxing
washed.
needs I agree.
He's
I know.
washed. But I'll tell you, I'd be more excited for the press conference than the fucking fight.
Well,
Yeah, but
Broner
it's
ain't
gonna be-
lost him. Say what you want, but
it's gonna be-
Broner ain't lost in 4 or 5 years. He ain't been
hasn't
champion in 10.
in 10.
And
Exactly.
I know.
Raleigh's
But he ain't lost in
literally
4 or
the
5
luckiest-
years.
And Raleigh's lucky. Literally,
He's sitting
the
on 4
luckiest
wins,
champion
Mike.
ever.
Yeah,
He's
against
Adrian
who?
Broner, and he's sitting on
Can
4
you
wins.
fucking name them? Can you name them without being on Boxring?
Giovanni
Can you-
Santiago. Giovanni Santiago.
Who else?
Giovanni
else?
Santiago.
Who else?
Bill Hutchinson, motherfucker.
Hutchinson, 24-2. Yeah.
Minnesota fucking Stevens, bitch.
Giovanni
That's
Santiago was a
Tallahassee.
decent win.
That was a decent win, but fucking
Bill
Hutchinson, come the
Hutchinson's
fuck
a
on.
solid win, dude. He's
4-time
a
champion.
Pittsburgh-
The guy can listen. What you don't like about Broner is the reason why you got to make the Raleigh fight. Broner can fucking sell a fight.
Though that press conference will be priceless.
It would be
This press
fire.
conference leading
I
up to
have
that
to
fight.
admit.
Hey, is
the
Keyshawn
press
Davis at
conference was
140?
fucking pound.
Is Keyshawn Davis at 140?
Yeah, no, he's 135 then. He called out fucking Tio, though, which is a huge fucking mistake.
Hey, I wouldn't mind seeing Broner and Teo. We never saw that fight. Fuck it. It ain't like Teo's
Broner's
killing people.
washed, bro. He's
Yeah,
fucking
but
washed.
it depends. Who's Broner training with?
Well, his trainer died.
Yeah. So who's he?
He's training with
Cunningham?
Kevin Cunningham.
Send him up to Bomac. Send him to Nebraska. Let him get some
He
time
wouldn't
in
make it.
there.
At the end of the day,
He wouldn't
Broner's
fucking
only
make it. He would
34
not.
years old.
Yeah,
I'd
but
like to see him in a
Broner,
big fight.
Broner's like he'd be like Garcia when he went to fucking Canelo's team. He wouldn't make
Broner,
it. He don't have the work
Broner
ethic.
has
He does
so
not have.
much. He had so much skill, but his head just got in his way.
Yeah, 'cause
Yeah,
he had
that's why I
that
want to
pick,
see him.
the can man. He was fucking. His dad was picking his fucking
But
hair
my
off.
point
When
is,
he was
Remember
my
when he
point is,
dropped that on this
Tim,
show?
Tim, on the flip side, let me give this to you. So you got a guy like Hank Lundy going out there being an opponent getting knocked out every single fucking night, right? You're
Oh,
trying
I
to
hate
tell
that.
me that you wouldn't want to see Adrian Broner come in as an opponent? You think with his experience that he can't come in and pull a Medina on one of these youngsters with
You
all the
don't gotta
fucking
sell me. I'm sold. You gotta sell Doss.
Dude, he's getting put. He's getting put against the ropes against fucking Wild Bill Hutchinson.
bro, the guy lost to
What are you
Pacquiao.
saying?
You act like this guy
No.
lost to like a bum. This guy lost to Pacquiao, bro.
Yeah, how long has that been?
Raleigh versus Broner would be an all-time great.
6 fucking years
ATG
ago?
dream match.
See,
I
this is the
love
thing, Mike.
I love Broner. I love him, but he's done, dude. He's washed. He's washed. He ain't fought a top guy in fucking years. He ain't held
This
a
is my
title in
point. I
10.
want to see him as an opponent. I didn't say I want to see the guy in a championship fight. I
Also,
want to see him
is-
against one of these prospects.
Is
I
Raleigh
like
a
to see him
top
as an
guy?
underdog.
Is Raleigh
No.
a top guy? Okay, so why does
I
that
give
fight not
you-
make sense?
Raleigh can crack though, dude.
I
He
would
can
pay
fucking
$49.99 for that fight.
Raleigh can fucking crack. That's one thing about Raleigh. He can fucking
Hey.
punch.
There was
Yeah,
a
but
reason
Broner
Conor
can
Ben didn't
fight.
want Adrian Broner. Because if he's washed, I know he would have took that fight. You can't tell me he wouldn't have fucking took the fight on GP.
I would have liked to see that fight.
So I
Yeah,
promise
but-
you that he ain't washed. Because if Conor Ben could have beat a 4-time champion that's been a pay-per-view opponent 3 times, he would have took him. I'll guarantee you
I'm
that.
telling you, if
And he's with
Broner
Don
fights-
King.
If
He
Broner
got that
fights a
fucking
top
Don
10
King
guy right
money.
now, he gets knocked out. But would I mind seeing it? No, I wouldn't mind seeing it.
No,
He's
fucking
one-
Broner
he's-
versus Raleigh. That's a
Broner
fight
is
I
must see
see.
fucking TV, especially the press conferences. They need
So
to
how
live
do you say
stream
this
the
is
fucking
this is what's
conferences.
crazy to me? You call Broner washed, right? But the last version of me of Broner, the last version of what I've seen of Broner is still a better boxer than Raleigh on his best day. And we're paying
Dude,
pay-per-view to see Raleigh.
47-year-old Moroso's a better boxer than fucking Raleigh.
So why
Everybody's
the
a
fuck
better
would we
boxer than
pay
Raleigh.
pay-per-view to watch Raleigh, my point, but you wouldn't pay to see Broner as an opponent?
I wouldn't pay to see it, but I'd watch it. But I still think that Broner might get beat because I just don't feel like he has. It's not just the physical side. It's not the being washed. I think he's washed mentally and physically.
But I know,
honestly
I
do.
think we beat the guy up
He's
though
been out
too,
of
because
shape.
I mean,
He's been going up and down. I seen a video of some dude that eats food all the time in different places, and he travels, and he had Broner as a guest in his vehicle. Broner was 175 fucking pounds, dude. Easy, maybe 180. He
that's
looked
what
like
Devin
his
Haney
dad,
walks
bro.
around at. That's normal, Mike.
Yeah, but
Devin
he's
Haney
5
walks
foot
around at
fucking-
180
he's-
pounds.
Yeah, but how tall is Broner? He ain't that fucking tall. He's like
They fight at the
5'5".
same weight class though.
Yeah,
He just needs
but
to
I'm
raise
telling you, he's
the
like
bar.
180. He looked huge. He looked like his dad. Remember how big his dad was? His dad was a big boy, big dude.
He's
man.
not that big,
He
bro.
looks big. He's fucking 4'8", bro. He's like
He
fucking
just
that.
fought.
And
He
he's
just
on
fought in November.
he's in a goddamn vehicle trying food with a dude. And they eat like 20 different kinds of shit.
Well,
and
that's
he's just
better than
slurping it up,
drugs.
just eating it.
Hey, well, it's better than
How do you
strip
know he
clubs and
wasn't
drugs
fucked
where we've
up when he
seen
was
them.
doing it? He might have been high too, bro. love talking to you, Eddie. Been great.
My whole thing is, I just see a quality opponent. I'm not saying I see a pound for pound world champion. I see a quality opponent that could be getting caught in some of these big fights and make some compelling fights.
Yeah, but dude, he's pushing in 3 months, it'll be a year since he fought Wild Bill fucking Hutchinson. Okay. He's 34 years old, but he started young. He was an amateur for fucking years. Had a very pedigree amateur. I seen a bunch of his amateurs. I knew about Broner. I'm from Natty, bro. I knew about Broner before almost most people did. He's been fighting since he was a kid. I just don't know how he can transition himself to the top 10 right now.
We're
He
talking
needs to
about
fight
Raleigh.
He's got a top 10 ranking,
I'm talking
Mike.
about Broner.
Mike,
But
he's
we're
got a
talking about
top 10
him fighting
ranking.
Raleigh.
Wait,
Well,
Mike, he's got a
He
top
fought
10
Bill
ranking with the
Hutchinson
sanctioning
fucking
body.
a year ago.
Okay, Eddie.
We're pushing it.
But we're talking about
We're fucking pushing it.
Broner versus Raleigh. That's what we're talking about. That's the bottom
That's
line.
what we're talking about, Mike. We're talking about pound for pound. We're talking Raleigh versus Broner sells.
And
We're not
you
talking
know,
Broner
dude,
versus Crawford, Broner versus
but
Canelo. We're not talking that.
you were hyping him up about beating Giovanni Santiago fucking 3 years ago. Okay,
No,
you
I wasn't
realize
hyping him up. You said I couldn't name one of his opponents.
Oh,
You
yes,
said I couldn't
definitely
name one of his opponents, and I didn't get on box track. I did it.
Santiago hasn't won a fight since. Okay,
Are you sure?
Yes, I'm sure.
Maybe
Gary
Broner
Antoine Russell smoked his fucking ass. Smoked him. 6 rounds. And then Mario Barrios fucking smoked him.
So
I don't know how
what
many
you're
rounds.
saying, Doss, is that Broner ruined Santiago.
Pretty much. And I'm telling you, if Gary Antoine Russell fucking met Broner, it would be a murder. Call 911. It would be a murder, bro.
Yeah, no, we didn't say he was a
Russell's
top
fucking
fighter.
beast. He's a
We
beast.
were just saying him and Raleigh makes a good fight. That's it. Next subject. Fuck him.
It makes a good fight, but you know.
Well, no, I know you wanted to talk about one subject, Doss. Let's talk about boxing scene.
You mean pro boxing TV? I've been high on Pro Box TV for years. I mean, for the last year, they've been having good fights. You know, twice a week, they got good people. They got Paulie Malignaggi, they got Chris Algieri. They got a good fucking mix, good matchmaking. I've been
That's Mike Tyson's old. That's Mike Tyson's old partner, right? Gary Jonas.
Yeah, and he's been doing good. But now I hear that and Rick, I love Rick, bro. Rick Reno's my boy. I've been with Rick. I used to work for boxing for fucking years. But I think he got tired of it, and he sold out to Pro Box TV. Now, a lot of people don't have a
Pro Box bought their website?
Yeah, boxing scene. And Jake Donovan left. He went to Ring Magazine. Who else? Cliff Roll left. A lot of their top writers left and go on different ventures. And I just feel that I don't like when networks and promoters own media companies or websites.
Well, they all do. Listen, my friend, they're all subsidized one way or another, because if the promotion companies don't give the websites exclusive content, they don't make money off monetization, and then the promotion company doesn't get exposure out of their fighters. So they work hand in hand.
I agree to an extent, but I just don't feel that they blatantly went out and bought Boxing Scene and they're like putting it everywhere. We own Boxing Scene now. I just don't feel that should happen. It's a conflict of interest.
Look,
also,
Golden Boy owns the Ring.
That's what pissed me off. That's why I don't subscribe to the Ring anymore because of that.
It's now subjective writing.
They
I get what you're
bought the fucking Ring, and then they put Ronda fucking Rousey on the cover, which was blasphemy. Nat Fleischer been rolling his fucking grave since that happened, and they should have been out of business just for that shit. You put Ronda Rousey in your fucking cover, and then she gets smoked by Holly Holm. You're a fucking idiot.
But it had to do with boxing. But it had to do with boxing.
It didn't have to do with fucking boxing. She didn't get knocked out in the boxing ring. She ain't ever stepped foot in the fucking boxing ring. Ever. Still to this fucking day.
I thought she boxed.
She went to a fucking WWE ring. She been in a wrestling fucking ring, but she never had the fucking nuts to step in the boxing ring. But her stupid ass is on the fucking cover. Fuck that shit. That made me so fucking
speaking
mad.
of which, I'm not really into women's boxing. I'm not trying to hate on it or anything, but until it goes to 3 rounds, I'm just saying I'm not really going to be a huge fan of it because everybody wants equal.
When it goes to 3 rounds, it's going to be more no knockouts.
No, 3 minutes, 3-minute rounds.
No, but when it goes to 3 minutes, but what I'm saying is they can't knock each other out in 2, and they think that every fight that's
it would happen in 3 minutes because they would be exhausted, Mike. Yeah, they will.
No, because they still don't punch.
But going to that,
you put Ann Wolf in there, she'd murder somebody.
No, I got a fight for you.
Clarissa
Cyborg has been calling out Clarissa Shields.
Clarissa Shields destroys her, mops her.
I don't know about that, man.
No, she wants it at a catchweight. She told her. I'm just telling you. That's a good fucking fight.
Okay, that left hook that flattened, Shields in that sparring session. I just can't get that out of my head, bro. She was talking mad shit, and that fucking 6-1 fucking Russian fighter or whatever his name was.
You know what's crazy though? I saw the face off, and it sounded like Shields. Be honest with you, Cyborg was saying everything right to sell the fight, and Shields was like talking her way out of it. And I'm like, listen, this will be your biggest fucking payday ever.
she knows that
Right.
she can crack, dude. She can fucking crack, and Shields can't.
Nah,
Shields don't have the fucking
Shields will work Cyborg. it's a different sport.
Bow boxing, and if she gets
Hey.
caught, dude.
Hey, Mike, and you know you talking about that left hook? You're forgetting that Hannah Gabriel put her on the floor too. Hannah Gabriel was
I
getting in her
know.
ass.
I know. That's what I'm saying, dude. She can't. She don't like power punches at all. And then she don't
No.
call out Keith fucking Thurman. I mean, Shields is an accomplished fighter. I respect her in the ring, but I don't fucking respect her outside of the ring. She needs to know her role. Keep Thurman out of your fucking mouth. You know,
She's selling it though.
She's
She's
yeah, but
selling.
he's fighting fucking Zoo. You don't hear.
I know.
You don't hear.
But guess what? She's got to
don't
sell
hear her
herself
calling
as the
out
most
Tim Zudo.
unbeatable thing to her fans.
Yeah,
she's
she's
got to
calling
sell
out
herself to her
Thurman.
fan base
But why ain't she calling out Tim Zoo?
because she's
Because
selling a
she
fantasy.
knows.
Tim Zoo is Australian. None of her fans
Tim
know
Zoo
who
would
he
knock
is.
her the fuck out. Tim Zoo is getting that
Keith
ass.
Thurman would knock her out too. She knows
I
that.
agree. Well,
But she's selling clout. All these fighters do that. That's clout. You know that.
yeah,
But
I know, dude. But
I
when
think that
you're selling clout, but when a fucking video gets all over the internet about you getting dropped by a journeyman with a fucking left hook,
it's still a
wide
guy.
open,
It doesn't matter. It's
holes
still a
like
man.
fucking Swiss cheese. That was so wide open. And then
But
you're
it's
talking
still a
about
man,
deep
though.
fucking him.
That's still
Exactly.
a man that
She
dropped her
got
though.
knocked the fuck
Hey,
out.
but it's still a man
Fight that
dropped her.
guy. Fight that guy. Fight him in the fucking ring. I bet he'd sign up for it.
Hold
You
on,
ain't
hold
hearing
on
that
one
shit
second,
from her.
guys, hold
Okay.
on one
So
second.
what do you think?
We haven't heard enough of Rufus today. We need some Rufus on this show.
I think he's asleep.
What do you think about Cyborg and her though? Who do you picking, man? It's a good fight, right?
Oh, he's in a cave.
I'm here.
I want to hear Rufus.
I'm listening to you all talk better, but I know
Sound like-
Cyborg.
You sound like 3CPO.
Rufus, you sound like a
C-3PO.
cyborg.
You sound like an RTG, bro. The hell you got going on, bro?
All right.
Thank you. And maybe we shouldn't hear from Rufus.
We need to get that man a new headset.
No, I think Cyborg would give her a fight. I wouldn't say she's gonna beat Clarissa Shields, but she would fucking, if she felt her power, it'd be interesting. But she probably would outbox her all night, probably stop her late. Because Cyborg don't have that kind of fucking stamina late in the fucking fight, 10-round fight. You know. But if she lands like the sparring partner, it could be game over. At least
the sparring partner was also a grown
it
ass
could be
man.
interesting. Huh?
The sparring partner was a grown ass man.
So
I'm
was
not
Cyborg.
hating on the sport. I don't really watch it much. I don't follow the women much. There's,
No,
I-
Cyborg's
that's-
not. Sorry.
That's honestly
She's
what I
after all.
respect, like Jake Paul's doing right now, right? A lot of people don't watch women's boxing, so he puts himself under his fighter's undercard and has Amanda Serrano running the main event.
And they love Serrano in Puerto Rico, bro. But she's a gutsy fighter. Yeah, she's damn good. Yeah,
she's
doing
managing
smart
fighters and promoting too now. She has
Yeah,
a
she's
the
working.
flyweight champion.
That's why
Her
I'm
and Jake Paul have
shocked.
that promotional company.
That's why Berlanga should be in that mix, even with Eddie Hearn. Eddie should work a deal out with fucking Jake Paul and include him in that shit, dude.
Fuck
Build
it.
him up.
Berlanga versus Jake Paul. Let's run it.
Hey, let me ask you guys a question. Do you think anybody can beat Inoue? I don't.
Nah.
I don't see it happening.
I thought
I think
Foreman
Neri-
was the best chance, and
Neri's going to be, could give him a little fight. Not going to win, but Neri could make it fun. Definitely.
Man,
Neri
Tapales
go
was
in there
giving him a
bang.
fight. Tapales
Neri
was
can
hitting
bang.
him.
Neri was up there like Roman Gonzales for a while, dude. He was good, had a lot of wins, fucking champion, and then he ran into what's his name, Figueroa, and that dethroned, that just knocked him down. He went up a weight division, or maybe two for that fight. I think he went back down to his normal weight, and he's still trying to catch up from that mistake against Figueroa. He was not
Guys,
ready for that fight.
we got 5 minutes left.
Rufus,
Hey, have you guys seen the Ben Whitaker kid yet? From England?
you mean the Timu Prince Nassim Hamed? Yeah, I've seen the guy.
What do you think about him?
Did you say the
Fight
fucking
somebody with a
Timu
fucking pole.
Prince?
He's still a
he's
showman,
Wish-
though.
He's
I said the
Wish.com Prince
Timu
Nassim.
version.
He's Timu. He's Timu Hamed. He sucks, dude. I mean, he's a what a fucking bronze medals, silver medals. The guy's talented, but he's sitting there doing this shit bad
Was he
against these
signed under
bums. Not
Shalom?
bums, but journeyman, huh?
Is he signed under Shalom or is he signed under Hearn?
Yeah, Ben
I think
Shalom
it's
has.
Shalom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How
My
about
dog.
hey?
He fucking sucks.
Have you
What?
seen the guy that Warren has, Antuama, and he's got brothers?
And Swama. I don't.
He's got this badass fucking heavyweight. I think his name is Lawrence Antuama. He's like 8-0, and he's got
Oh,
two
yeah,
other
yeah,
brothers to
yeah.
fight. That dude is
Yeah, I've seen
fucking
him.
bad. Hey, Frank Warren came back in a major way. In a major way. He got some badass fighters.
Well, Frank's a hell of a promoter, dude. I mean,
Well,
But he
he's
was
been
down there
around
like Don
40
King
years.
at one point.
Aren't they doing that the Hearn Warren 5-on-5?
Yeah, that's going to be dope.
That's sick.
I want to see
That is,
who's
that
in
is
it,
a
though.
ballsy for promoters to put that.
It's going to be
Who-
5 random weight classes each
Yeah, but
fighter.
do they have the fighters down yet, though?
No.
Yeah, I want to wait and see, who they have fighting.
Oh, I heard Joe Cordina's going to be one of them.
Joe Cordina can fight, man.
I'm just
This
saying
is
that's a ballsy move for promoters, regardless, because they're really.
I still like
matching their
Sonny
stable
Edwards,
versus
bro.
the
No, it's not. It's genius. You want to know why? The fucking Saudis are throwing the money. It's fucking no brainer. The guy is going to make all your fighters, hey, you want to make more money than you ever did? All right, the Saudis want me to pick 5 of y'all. Who's going to be lucky enough? Everybody's like this in the fucking room. 2 arms.
that fuck you oil money.
I'm saying, why wouldn't you? You know it's going to set precedent. The purse is everything.
Yeah, they're gonna probably give fight bonuses like the UFC. I mean, dude, and what's his name? Turkey. Turkey is a fucking boxing fan through and through. Dude. I like the guy.
Yeah, he
video
already went on
did,
quote.
Tyson Fury. I love the guy. I think he's fucking awesome. I love to have him on the show.
He went on quote and said he's not even going to put Mayweather or those kind of exhibition fights. They're not into those fights. He said maybe we'll do that separate for the fans, but that's not the route we're going.
Well, I think
that's what
Japan's
I love.
doing that with the Ryzen stuff. They're having Mayweather fight exhibitions like every New Year's Eve or some shit.
Yeah, they don't want those no more. They said they're not going. They're not going.
But he
for
can
that.
do that until he's fucking 84 years
Well,
old.
they don't need them. Like nobody's watching that shit. Well, I mean, people are, but like
Well,
real boxing fans aren't going fucking trying to tune in to Mayweather fighting Takashi Yamagata in a fucking 3-round exhibition in Japan.
Yeah,
And
It's
I
going to be
think that's
crazy.
what
They're gonna change the landscape a little bit. They got a couple of Arabs fighters that are in the mix right now. Like they got that Kabayah. He's going to make some big money over there in Dubai. You got the former heavyweight champion. He fucking moved over there. He's old, but he's still holding big ranking. Manuel Char. He moved to Dubai.
Oh yeah. Yeah, now
Yeah.
he's still somehow getting title shots and his name
So,
being mentioned.
I know. So imagine though.
Ducking the shit out of
cruiserweight
Frezequendo still though.
What's his name? The cruiserweight that knocked
Jairo
out Macaboo.
Jairo Pesha.
No, knocked out Macaboo.
That's the one that called out fucking Fury, Apacia.
I'm talking about the guy that beat Macaboo and won the title, just like
Makabu.
Jake Paul undercard. Yeah, he beat him though. From Vegas, but he lives in Saudi now.
No, I'm thinking.
Mayweather gym.
Oh,
I
you're
think
talking
it was
about the guy that split his head.
Badu Jack.
Against- Yeah, Badu Jack.
Yeah. He lives in Dubai.
Yeah, they're getting that
So,
fucking money.
but what's
guys,
going on? Go ahead.
Guys, we're running out of time. We got less than a minute left. We'll talk after, but I just want to end the show. Thank everybody for watching, listening, whatever it is now in these new digital days. We went from, Blog Talk Radio to now doing live streamings. It's crazy. It's different. But once again, I appreciate all our fans for tuning in, fucking riding with us, talking boxing, talking combat sports. But same time next week, every Wednesday, 8 p.m.
Pleasure, brother.
So glad to have
Very
Eddie
good to see you.
Gonzales back in the mix.
The
But
guy
tune in
that can
every
keep up with
Wednesday,
me.
8 p.m. We're going to be streaming on YouTube and Facebook. Holler
The
at
guy
us.
that sent Michael Finney home.